By the way, okay, next meeting, March 27, and that is a Monday. No, you will have your first monthly quiz or your first quiz. Okay, so your coverage, no, will be up to lesson number 10. Okay, that's the coverage of the exam. So later on, I am going to give you or I'll dictate the answers, no, to all multiple choice questions for your review. Okay, but we will try to, discuss the highlight of each PAS, no? So related PAS, okay? So that PAS or PFRS, okay? How many are we? So 30. Uh, okay, so we're waiting for the others. So we'll give them at least 5 minutes, no, to come in. So 39 pa lang tayo. We're about 80 plus. Okay, so while you're waiting, no, we're waiting for your classmates to come in. So I'd like you to open your lesson on accounting changes. Lesson on accounting changes followed by events after the reporting period. Okay? So those are the first two lessons that we will tackle. So 46, halfway na tayo. So 47. Okay. So while we are waiting for your classmates, okay, so let me now share my screen. Oh, 53 na tayo. Tagal. So 80 tayo. Your first monthly quiz, no, accordingly, no, or according to our what do you call this? We have a policy kasi, no? We have school policy on the exam duration or the quiz duration, no, how it is to be sent. Okay, so your quiz, no, it will cover the topics, no, as I said, up to lesson number 10. Okay, so it's gonna be a 2 hour quiz. So siguro ilang ano yon, mga 80 questions yun or 70 to 80 questions, no? Okay. So there's nothing to memorize. Okay, so it's gonna be a multiple choice type of exam, just like your board exam. Okay, so there's nothing to worry, no need to memorize, but I want you to read everything. Okay, review all our notes, and if possible, no, if you have other, no, other materials, no, like any reviewer, so with which contains also answers, no, or yeah, answers, no, to questions, no, to end of the chapter questions. Okay, so that would be very helpful to you, no. Okay, so I would encourage you to be very resourceful, but not during the exam. Okay? Now, 59 na tayo. Okay, so I'll start. So bahala na yung iba if they come in late. Okay. So for our first topic, it is accounting changes. Now, there is nothing permanent in this world except change. Everything changes. except of course the word of God, because it will not change. Okay, now for our topic today, we will be talking about changes in accounting. Okay. Now, what are those changes? Now, we say that we cannot present financial statements without applying or performing procedures. There are policies, there are procedures that any company adopts, whether it's a small company or a big company, or it may be a multinational company. No? So, meaning, laging merong accounting policy. It's significant. Kaya 'di ba sabi natin, no, one of or number one that is to be disclosed in the financial statements, no, are what? Summary of significant accounting policies. Okay. Question, are these policies fixed, or are these are these will these policies be changed in the future? So, the answer is that according, if we are strict, okay, following PAS number 1, presentation of financial statements, not that no accounting principles must be consistently used. Okay, meaning to say parang ayaw magbago. Okay. And that any change daw in accounting policy is, it is theoretically or conceptually, no, a violation of the consistency principle. Kasi kung ano raw yung in-apply mo nung mga nakaraang taon na accounting policies will still be the same set of policies that you will be applying now and in the future. However, no, PFRS allows us to change accounting policy, although it is, as I said, a violation of the consistency principle. For as long as the company can justify, no, the reasons, or rather can justify the change in the accounting policy. Now, ang change in accounting policy, no, is a change from a GAAP to another GAAP. It cannot be a change from a non-GAAP to a GAAP, kasi it will fall under accounting error correction. 'Di ba? Kaya kapag a non-GAAP to a GAAP, correction of error 'yan. Pero pag sinabi nating a GAAP to another GAAP, then that is a change in accounting policy. Okay. Now, what do you mean by change, or what do you mean by accounting policy? Okay, so let's read. Accounting policies are the specific principles, bases, conventions, rules, and practices applied by an entity in preparing and presenting financial statements. So let's take for example, no? Kunwari sabihin natin yung accounting for inventories. 'Di ba? Ano ba yung mga acceptable methods, no? In determining the cost of the inventory. 'Di ba sabi natin allowed tayong gumamit ng specific identification. 'Di ba? Okay. Or it may be, kunwari sabihin natin na for homogeneous items. Okay? Kasi yung specific identification, it is applicable when the products, or rather the inventories, are heterogeneous or dissimilar. We can specifically identify the product. Like for example, pieces of jewelry. No, alam natin, itong design na to, ganito. So, pwede tayong mag-specific identification. So, meaning to say, specific identification may be recommended, no, for use. Now, regarding large inventories, or yung mga bulky or voluminous inventories, no, we are allowed to use either FIFO or weighted average. Paano yung kunwari, let's say nung mga last few years, ang ginamit natin ay FIFO. Now this year, no, the company, no, decides to to shift to weighted average. So from FIFO to weighted average. Question, is FIFO acceptable? Yes, it's a GAAP. What about weighted average method? It is also a GAAP. Now, what kind of change is that? That is a change in accounting policy. Okay. Ngayon, sabi natin, there is now what will be the accounting treatment for a change in accounting policy? Okay, sabi natin it is to be a retrospective treatment. Ano ibig sabihin ng retrospective? Pag sinabing retrospective, past. Pag sinabing prospective, current and prospective. Pag sinabing current, now. Pag sinabing prospective, future. Now, why do I emphasize this? Kasi pag sinabi natin change in accounting policy, the accounting treatment is retrospective. Now, anong ibig sabihin ng retrospective? Ibig sabihin, if you are going to present financial statements, no, together with the current year financial statement or the covered financial statement or the covered period na yung current year, no, or the latest year, no, that is presented in a set of financial statements, no. Okay, sabi natin kasi comparative presentation. So, yung current year vis-a-vis the preceding years. Pwede ngang isang taon lang na previous year or the latest preceding year, no? Or the nearest preceding year. O po pwede ngang 3 taon. O, ngayon sabi natin, lahat ng financial statements that we will present vis-a-vis the current year, kailangan i-restate. Yun ang ibig sabihin ng retrospective accounting treatment. So that happens in a change in accounting policy. Retrospective. Ang ibig sabihin, kunwari sabihin natin ang current year ay 2022. No? Okay. Pinresent natin yung 2021. Eh noong 2021, FIFO pa tayo. Tapos pinresent mo rin yung 2020. Eh FIFO rin yon. Anong ibig sabihin ng retrospective accounting treatment? So if in the current year, you will adopt or you have adopted weighted average method, kailangan yung 2021 and 2020 should also be restated using the weighted average. Hindi pwedeng FIFO. Bakit? Because of, comparability. Paano mo i-compare ang inventory, no? Kung ang ginamit mo ngayon ay weighted average, tapos yung mga nakarang taon ay FIFO. There is no point of comparison. That is the reason why kung magpe-present ka comparatively with 2022 financial statement, dapat yung 2021, yung 2020 you will also use or you should have already or you should have been using also the weighted average. Okay? So yun ang ibig sabihin ng retrospective accounting treatment for change in accounting policy. Okay, ngayon, anong magiging effect? Natural, if you are going to use another accounting policy, no, just like our example, will there be an effect in the profit of the previous years? The answer is yes. Di ba sabi natin, yung ending inventory of the previous year, or rather, the previous year becomes the beginning inventory of the current year. Kaya should there be a change in accounting policy last year, it will surely affect the profit of last year. Such that if there is a change in accounting policy, the one that will be affected is the beginning retained earnings. Nakuha nyo, beginning retained earnings. Bakit? Kasi kung affected ang profit of last year, then it will surely affect the beginning retained earnings. Bakit? Natural, whatever profit it may be, okay, it should have been closed already to retained earnings. So yun ang ating tinatawag na retrospective accounting treatment. Okay. Now, another change that is allowed in accounting is a change in accounting estimate. Ano ba ibig sabihin ng change in accounting estimate? So it is an adjustment of the carrying amount of an asset or liability or related expense resulting from reassessing the expected benefit. Ano ibig sabihin ng reassessing? Merong bagong information that is available about our asset. Okay. which will affect the carrying amount of our asset. Okay, example natin, equipment or building, 'di ba? So, bakit? Kasi there are items or there are factors affecting the carrying amount of our equipment or our building that of course we only estimate. Ano-ano yung mga ine-estimate natin? Natural. We only estimate the useful life of our asset. Are we precise in our estimate? Okay, so in as much as we try to be to estimate precisely magkano ba or ilan ba yung taon na itatagal ng ating equipment or ng ating building, we can never be exact. Kaya sabi natin, there are cases or rather there are possibilities no na maaring mabago ang estimated useful life of our asset because of a new available information. Ang tanong, kung magkakaroon ng revision in the useful life of our asset, will that affect depreciation? The answer is yes. Will that affect amortization if let's say the item affected is an intangible asset which we amortize? The answer is yes. Are we allowed to change accounting estimate? Natural, because we cannot ignore that new available information. So for a fair representation of the financial statement, it may be an advantage to change our accounting estimate. Ano-ano pa yung ine-estimate aside from the useful life? Yung ating scrap value. 'Di ba? Ano ba ang ibig sabihin ng scrap value? It means to say the residual value or the salvage value which will we deduct from the acquisition cost in order to get the depreciable cost. And that the depreciable cost we divide by the number of useful years, no, the life or the estimated life of our asset, no, in number of years, 'di ba? Okay, so machi-change ba yung ating depreciation rate? So if ever na mag-change tayo ng accounting estimate, the answer is yes. Question, how are we going to treat such change? Ngayon, sabi natin, if change in accounting policy means retrospective treatment, no, change in accounting estimate means a change currently and prospectively. Ibig sabihin, prospective, current and prospective treatment. Anong ibig sabihin ng current and prospective treatment? Ang ibig sabihin, we will just revise our depreciation rate. Okay? Should there be a revision of the useful life, or there be a revision of the scrap value which we also estimate? Ano mangyayari? There will be a change or revision in the depreciation rate. Kaya anong ibig sabihin? Hindi retrospective. It means to say that the change in accounting estimate will not affect the beginning retained earnings, just like in a change in accounting policy. Bagkos ano ang maaapektuhan? Ang maaapektuhan yung ating current years depreciation expense or amortization expense or whatever is kagaya ng warranty o maapektuhan lang yung warranty expense for the current year and also the prospective years or the future years. Kasi pag change mo ang depreciation rate or amortization rate or warranty rate, whatever that you estimate, no? Ano mangyayari? Mababago yung current. Mababago yung future years unless that there will be a new estimate in the future. In that case, babaguhin mo na naman yung iyong estimate. Right? So, currently and prospectively for a change in accounting estimate. Now, question. Okay, question. What about no if there will be a change in depreciation method? Okay. Kunwari, sabihin natin, it used to be before straight line method ang ginagamit natin. However, no, the company decided to change the depreciation method from straight line to sum of years digit. Ano mangyayari or any other no acceptable depreciation method, no? Okay. Ano mangyayari? Sabi mo, teka, 'di ba accounting policy 'yon? Kasi yung depreciation method, 'di ba accounting policy? The answer is yes. However, since sabi natin, no, depreciation method, a change in depreciation method will affect the depreciation rate. 'Di ba? Sabi natin maapektuhan yung depreciation rate. O kung intangible asset naman, yung amortization rate maaapektuhan. So ang tanong ay ganito, bagay sa amortization naman no of intangible asset, normally we use the straight line method, 'di ba? So i-apply natin 'yan dito sa PPE na sabi natin ang daming acceptable depreciation methods. Pwede bang mag-change? Yes. Okay, ang tanong, will you treat that as a change in accounting policy or a change in accounting estimate? So, this is the key. If ever that there is some kind of confusion, no, or hindi mo malaman if it is a change in accounting estimate and a change in accounting or a change in accounting policy, no, your assumption is that it is a change in accounting estimate. Kaya yung change in depreciation method is to be treated as a change in accounting estimate rather than a change in accounting policy. Do you get it? Okay, so ngayon, sabi natin, okay naman GAAP to GAAP. Walang problema yon for a change in accounting policy. Change in accounting estimate, wala rin problema. Okay, kasi nag-change yung policy. So, ang treatment mo currently and prospectively. Now, what about the third one? Prior period error. Ayan. Sabi natin, ito ay hindi accounting change. But this is rather a correction of an accounting error. Ano ba ibig sabihin ng prior period error? Errors that you committed in the past, which affected the profit of the past or the previous year or years. Okay. Now, what are prior period errors? They are omissions from and or misstatements. No? An error of omission and commission. Di ba? Error of omission, error of commission. Pag sinabi nating omission, anong ibig sabihin? Failure to take up. Omission No entry ka, dapat may entry. Nag-depreciate ka ba? Hindi ka nag-depreciate in the past. Di ano yun? That is an error of omission. Failure to accrue. Di ba? Failure to depreciate. Di puro mga accounting error yan which are committed in the past. Okay. Or let's say for example, may take up ka nga, may depreciation ka nga, overstated naman or understated naman. Meron ka nga, nag-take up ka ng accrual and deferral. Ano nangyari? Overstated naman or understated naman. Kaya mag-fall siya na prior period error. Okay. So, an entity's financial statements or one or more prior periods arising from a failure to use or misuse of reliable information that was available and could reasonably be expected to have been obtained and taken into account in preparing those statements. So, such errors should be what? They may be in the form of mathematical mistakes, no? Nagkamali yung calculator o yung calculator daw ang nakamali or normally it's because of human error, no? Mistakes in applying accounting policies, hindi niya alam old version na pala yung kanyang ina-apply. Kailangan may bago palang PFRS. Hindi niya nabasa, hindi siya nag-a-update. Hala, sabi niya at mali pala ako. Eh bakit? Eh old na pala tong alam ko. O pati goodwill, inamortize. Eh hindi na pala ina-amortize ngayon ng goodwill. O, eh kasi matagal ng accountant eh. Okay, so hindi nag-a-update. So mali pala yung in-apply na accounting policy. O, kinapitalize pa yung ano, kunwari sabihin natin, kinapitalize pa yung organization cost. Eh dapat yan, organization, immediate recognition, outright expense. Nagkamali siya. O ano yon? That will bring about a prior period error. O kaya naman it may be an oversight or a careless due to negligence or carelessness, no? Or misinterpretation of facts, no? Mali ang interpretation niya ng PFRS. Nagsarili ng interpretation. Okay? And then or it may be because of fraud or irregularity. So whatever the cause may be, no, prior period errors must be what? Must be corrected upon discovery. Okay? At natural, kung prior period error yan, ano ang affected? Retained earnings ang affected. O, di ba? O, ganon, no? So, anong treatment mo? Di natural, you correct the understatement or the overstatement. Of what? A prior period error, understatement or overstatement of net income which is already close to retained earnings. Therefore, no, since it is already or the income and expenses no have already been close to retained earnings, then that means to say what you do, you adjust retained earnings beginning balance. 'Di ba? Alam nyo, meron tinatawag na prior period adjustment, yung PPA, prior period adjustments no to beginning retained earnings. Kaya dapat, 'di ba, pag gumagawa tayo, nagto-total tayo or we get the retained earnings balance, anong ginagawa natin? Kino-correct muna natin yung beginning balance of the retained earnings. No, and of course, no, we need to adjust all prior period adjustments. Okay. Ngayon, sabi natin, kaya kung naaalala nyo yung correction of errors nyo sa auditing, correction of errors nyo doon sa accounting 5. O, di ba? Pinag-aralan sa accounting 5 ang correction of errors. Pinag-aralan din sa auditing. O, kapag prior period error, anong ina-adjust natin? Unang-unang ina-adjust yung retained earnings. Plus, of course, any affected asset or liability. O, di ba? Okay. So, that's about it. No? So, meron tayong mga examples dito of change in accounting estimate. Okay, so changes in estimate on an accounting estimate, like for example, as in the case, common examples of change in accounting estimate: uncollectible receivables, useful lives of depreciable or intangible asset, residual value for depreciable asset, warranty obligation, lahat ng na-estimate, actuarial assumptions for pension or retirement benefit obligation, di ba? Quantities of mineral reserves para sa mga natural resources or those companies that are engaged in extracting natural resources, di ba? Yung mga mineral reserves no that are subject to depletion, no? Okay, number of periods benefited by deferred cost. As a categorization difference, a change in depreciation method is treated as a change in estimate. Okay? Now, estimate changes are estimate changes are accounted or estimated changes no or estimate changes no are accounted for over current and future years. Ayan. Treatment of change in estimate adjusts either current period result or current and future period results. No separate cumulative adjustment or stated financial statement because this is only true to change in accounting policy. No? No pro forma disclosure needed. But, sabi nga natin, if there is a violation of consistency principle brought about by a change in accounting estimate or a change in accounting policy, what you do, you disclose the reasons why. No? Plus, of course, kailangan magkaroon ka ng parang something like a summary of how the changes were treated. No? So nakita nyo yung ating ganong kahaba na note to financial statement, should there be a change in accounting policy. Okay? So, yan ang ating dapat tandaan dito sa PAS na ito. No, madali lang tandaan. Okay, now for error corrections, no? Okay, there are different types of errors. May errors that affect, no, that are discovered currently in the course of the normal accounting procedure, so that kapag na-discover mo yung error, i-correct mo. Okay, it may be an addition error, a truncation error, or it may be a slide error or whatever. Iko-correct mo, no? Errors limited to balance sheet account. Ito yung error in reclassifying or in classifying accounts. O kagaya niyan, notes receivable, dapat pala accounts receivable. Ang tanong, ano affected? Naapektuhan ba ang income and expense? Hindi. Naapektuhan lang yung asset. So it's only a reclassification issue. No, you will reclassify. Kagaya itong example natin. So instead of accounts receivable, dapat pala notes receivable. So what will be your entry? A journal entry. No? In order to take up notes receivable at tanggalin mo yung accounts receivable. No? Okay, so include, hindi pala, baliktad pala. No? Instead of accounts receivable, ginawang notes receivable, tanggalin mo yung notes receivable, i-open mo yung accounts receivable mo. So how do you do this? Magkaroon ka ng reclassifying entry. No? So, okay. So errors limited to income statement. O ganun din, pwedeng yung salaries expense naging commission expense. O, di ba? Or ito, for example, office salaries debited instead of sales salaries. So, i-correct mo lang yon by reclassifying the account. Okay. Ang eto nga yung sinasabi nating errors affecting both income statement accounts and balance sheet account. Kagaya ng failure to accrue. Hindi na take up yung receivable, hindi rin na take up yung income. Failure to defer. No? Let's say any income collected in advance. Dapat nasa liability lang siya. Ang ginawa mong nasa income pa. Dapat pala, kailangan mag-set up ka ng liability for deferred revenue. Hindi mo ginawa. Ang nangyari na overstate yung income mo. Okay, so ibig sabihin, that's an error that affects both income statement and balance sheet account. Okay, or statement of financial position account, no? Okay. So, yung prior period error falls under number 4. Okay? So, alam natin yan. Kabisado natin yan sa auditing. No, ano ba yung mga examples of those errors? Understatement of merchandise inventory, failure to record merchandise purchases, failure to record merchandise sales, failure to record accrued expense, prepaid expense, accrued revenue, unearned revenue, record depreciation, incorrectly capitalizing an expenditure, So ito ang mga examples ng prior period errors. Okay? Affecting both income statement accounts as well as balance sheet accounts. Okay? Tapos meron pa nga tayong counterbalancing at saka non-counterbalancing errors, no? Okay, so pero problema nyo na yan sa auditing, no? Okay. So, let's have our answers for problem 1, okay? Which is 1 to 14, or rather, 1 to 18. Okay, so let's answer. Number 1, A. Number 2, C. 3, boy. 4A, 5C, 6 boy, 7A, 8 boy, 9C, 10 boy, 11C, 12 boy, 13C, 14 boy, 15 boy, 16A, 17C, 18 boy. Okay. So sabi natin, yung mga nakita mo mga omission, mga failure, no? Ang ibig sabihin yan, mga prior period errors yan. Okay? So which is, sabi natin, letter, what letter is that? It is letter C, no? Tingnan mo ito, ha? Meron akong ipapakita sa inyo. change from presenting non-consolidated to consolidated financial statements. Dalawa lang naman yung change eh. No? Change in accounting policy and change in accounting estimate. O ano, saan magfo-fall yung one? It is more of a change in accounting policy. No? Number one. Kasi nung unang panahon kami, no, when we were still in college, tatlo yung changes that are allowed. No? Change in accounting policy, ang tawag pa nga namin change in accounting principle, pero pareho lang ng accounting policy yan. Okay. Change in accounting estimate, nandun na yon, and change in reporting entity. Kaya yung number one, it's, based on the old classification, this will fall as a change in accounting, change in reporting entity. Dalawa na lang ngayon, kaya between change in accounting estimate and change in accounting policy, number one is a change in accounting policy. Kaya ang answer natin dyan is A. Di ba? Okay, meron pa akong i-emphasize dito. Okay. So, change from one acceptable principle to another acceptable principle. O di, syempre, letter A yan. Okay? Change from GAAP to another GAAP eh. Okay, ano pa? Ito. Sandali Hahanap tayo. O, kagaya niyan. Change from straight line to sum of years digit method of depreciation. So, sabi natin, since this is a change in depreciation method, it is rather a change in accounting estimate rather than a change in accounting policy. That's the reason why number 14 is letter boy, a change in accounting estimate. Okay? So, yun lang naman ang pwede nating, yun ang medyo baka maguluhan kayo. Okay? So, let's answer multiple choice. Number 1, boy. Paki-take down na. Marami pa tayong ite-take up eh. Number 1, boy. Kasi, di ba, supposedly nagsimula na because I only started, kailan nga ba tayo nag-start? Last week of February. Dapat pala second week of February. Unfortunately, I was only called, no? Or I was only, I was only offered, no, to handle this, no, last week na nung nag first meeting tayo last week of February. Kaya nga be patient because we really have to catch up, no. Late na tayo ng I don't know if it is one meeting or two meetings. Number 1, boy. Number 2, boy. 3C. Okay, 4 is dog, 5A, 6C, 7A, 8 boy, 9 boy, 10C, 11C, 12 boy, 13C, 14C, 15 is C, 16A, 17 boy, 18 boy. Ay, bakit dalawa yung 18? Yung unang 18 boy. Yung pangalawang 18 is A. Na doble, ano? Okay, 19C, 20 boy, 21 dog, 22 dog, 23 is C, 24 dog, 25 dog, 26C, 27 is C, 28 boy, 29 boy, 30C, 31C, 32 dog, 33C, 34 boy, wala na, no? Okay, by the way, sabi natin, a prior period error should be corrected by what? By adjusting entry, 'di ba? It can never be cured or it cannot be any prior period error cannot be cured or cannot be remedied by just having a disclosure, no? A disclosure in the notes to financial statement. No, kailangan talaga may adjusting entry ka, no, in order to correct a prior period error. Di ba? Okay, so much for accounting changes. So let's move to another, okay, so let's move to another PAS. This time, PAS number 10. So wait for a while. So I'm gonna change my screen So this time, PAS number, wait for a while. I'm looking for it. Okay, here it is. Okay, ayan. Ito, explain ko sa inyo to. So, events after reporting period. Have you heard of the term subsequent events? Sa totoo lang, under FASB or yung US GAAP, we call these events as subsequent events. And even up to now, ang tawag namin dyan subsequent events because there is nothing wrong naman if we will call them subsequent events. Ano ba ito? Ito ay mga pangyayari no after the balance sheet date or the statement of financial position date, but before the date when the board of directors of the company, of a company issue or distribute the financial statements. So ibig sabihin nito, kung ako ay gagawa ng isang sabihin natin ng isang number line to show okay, so let me make an illustration para mas madaling maintindihan. Okay, so kung meron ako ditong straight line. Yan, ay hindi pala straight, crooked line yan or tawag nga natin diyan broken line. Andali ito. Okay. Ayan. Tapos lagyan natin ng date.
Ma'am, excuse me po.
Ay, teka, hindi nakikita. Sorry. Oo nga. Sorry. Oo nga, nahalata ko nga. Ayan, teka, nasa na tayo? Eto. Illustrate ko lang sa inyo yung saan yung mga pangyayaring yan. Lagay natin dito. Kunwari, eto yung sinasabi natin na lagay ko na lang balance sheet data, so statement of financial position date. Statement of financial position date. Ano nga yan? Yan yung sinasabi natin na end of the reporting period. Sige, lagay natin para mas madaling intindihin. Okay? Or the date or the end of reporting period. Ano ba yung reporting period? Di natural, kung ang calendar year mo ay 2022, di yung reporting period mo ay 2022. Okay, so sabihin natin, ito ay December 31, 22. Ayan, maliwanag yan. Ito siya. Ayan. Tapos ito, lagyan natin to ng, sabihin natin, ito yung date when the BOD, a board of directors, of the company, or our example, okay. Date when the board of directors the FS for issue. Yan. So, date when the BOD authorized the FS for issue. Ayan. Sabihin natin, ito ay March 31. Lagyan natin. 3/31/23. Ayan, okay? Date when the BOD authorizes the FS for issue. Lagyan na lang natin. Hindi pa nangyayari. Authorizes the FS for issue. Ano ibig sabihin for issue? For issue to all users. Ipapublish nila o i-distribute nila o by copies o kaya naman kung digital yun o ipapadala nila doon sa mga users, sa mga stockholders. Okay? At kung sino-sino pang nangangailangan o magse-send na sila sa BIR together with the ITR. O, di ba? Okay. Kailan nangyari itong mga events na ito? Nangyari ang mga events na yan dito. Ayan. So, dito lalagyan ko na lang ng ganyan. Ayan. Okay. So, ito ang cut-off. Nangyari, ito yung sinasabi nating events o events after the reporting period. O kaya, yung ating dating tawag dyan, na ngayon, ganun pa rin ang tawag natin, lalo na kapag sa audit, subsequent events. Ang haba-haba naman kasi sabihin, events after the reporting period. O, di ba? Okay. So, subsequent events. Ngayon, itong mga events na ito, we will try to categorize. Okay. Kasi dalawa ang klase ng events. Pwedeng yung event, yung tinatawag nating adjusting events. Okay? At pwede rin naman na non-adjusting events. Ayan. O, di ba? O, di dalawang klase. Bakit natin dapat i-classify? Kasi po, yung adjusting events will require adjusting journal entry. O, yan. So, ibig sabihin, kagaya ng mga provisions. O, kagaya ng provisions for warranty. O, edi a-accrue mo yun. O, tanong, ano ba yung mga yun? No, mga adjusting events ba yung mga yan? Oo, adjusting events yung mga yan. Okay, kunwari, let's say, yung nag-complain yung tawag dito, nag-complain yung customer. O, i-repair mo yan dahil yung biniling produkto nagmamalfunction within the warranty period. Yan yung mga klase ng mga events. Kailan siguro January 1 or basta after the reporting period. O ngayon sabi mong ganun, bakit naging provision niya? Kasi as at the end of the reporting period, kailangan nag-take up ng warranty expense yung company. So upon sale of that product, kailangan nag-debit siya ng warranty expense at nag-credit siya ng estimated warranty payable. O another example ng adjusting event, ganito. No? Suppose, yung major customer na company na ang laki-laki ng accounts receivable ni company doon, sabihin natin 1 million pesos. No? Tapos, in 2023, no, nag-declare ng bankruptcy itong company. No, itong major customer mo. Paano 'yun? Baka mamaya na maging worthless. Talagang nag-aano na tayo, nagkongolekta na yung company, matagal na, hindi binabayaran yung pala, na bankrupt na. At nag-declare na noong 2023 nag-declare na ng bankruptcy. Tanong, kailan nag-declare ang korte na bankrupt na yung company? 2023 prior to, ang importante, laging may cut-off ang cut-off nitong subsequent events na ito is March 31, 2023. In our example, kasi pwede yung maging April 15, pwede yang ang the board of director authorizes the FS for issue. Pwedeng sabihin natin February 14. Basta laging may cut-off. Yun ang cut-off ng reporting of the subsequent events. Okay. Wala na tayong pakialam doon sa mga nangyari nung after date when the board of director authorizes the FS for issue, yung after that. Basta ito ang cut-off na nangyari yung events after the reporting period but not later than March 31 of 2023. Okay, ngayon, kaya nga si auditor, di ba? Naalala nyo sa audit na laging ang auditor ay may responsibility, no? Responsibility for subsequent events or reporting subsequent events, no? Or auditing, no? Or examining subsequent events, no? Up to ditong date na to. Okay? So, adjusting events require adjusting journal entry. May debit and credit ka. But if the events, no, are considered as a non-adjusting events, no, what will be our treatment? Our treatment is only for disclosure, no? For disclosure in the notes to FS. See? Yan ang problema. Kaya kapag hindi mo alam na i-classify kung anong klaseng subsequent event yan, magkakamali ka ng treatment. Na dapat pala nag-require ng adjusting journal entry. Hindi mo kinonsider. Okay, so what are examples of non-adjusting events? Okay, example, no? Nung New Year's Eve, no, sabihin natin, nagputukan, January 1, nagputukan ngayon, nasabugan yung warehouse, nasunog yung lahat ng mga inventaryo nagkakahalaga ng 10 million. Patay tayo dyan. Eh syempre, sa FS, nandun pa siya. December 31, as of December 31, 2022, in the financial statement, natural, ire-report mo siya as what? 10 million na inventory. Eh pagdating ng January 1, no, one day after the end of the reporting period, nasunog yung buong warehouse. Siyari. Ang tanong, anong klaseng event yung pagkasunog na yon? That is a subsequent event. Ang tanong, how will you treat that? Kailangan ba gumawa ka ng debit fire loss? Sa December 31, 2022, magde-debit tayo ng debit fire loss or loss from fire. No? Oh, and credit what? Credit inventory in order to write off the inventory. Ang tanong kailan ba nangyari yung sunog? January 1 of 2023. Noong December 31, 2022, andun pa yung inventory. Kaya lang sabi natin, baka ma-mislead ang mga users ng statement. If we will not disclose that event. Kaya anong ibig sabihin? Ibig sabihin lang, no, that in the notes to financial statement, you have to disclose the fact that all of those inventories worth 10 million were destroyed by fire. Kasi the absence of a disclosure, informative disclosure about it might mislead the users of the statement. Kailan nangyari yung event? After na ng end of the reporting period. Ganun pala yun, ano? Kaya ibig sabihin, hanggat hindi sumasapit itong cut-off na ito, okay, lahat ng subsequent events should be what? Should be reported. Reported, no? Either by making adjusting journal entry or by just disclosing that in the notes to financial statement. O, yun lang ang sinasabi ng PAS number 10. No? Okay, ano nga ibig sabihin ng adjusting event? An event after the reporting period that provides further evidence of conditions that existed at the end of the reporting period. Kanina, no? Sabi ko, meron akong yung example natin na na-bankrupt na major customer. Okay, sabi mo, subsequent event yun. Ang tanong ganito, gagawan mo ba ng adjustment? Kasi worthless na yung account. Di ba? Hindi mo na masisingil wala na. Hindi na nga nangangamoy piso yung kumpanya. Wala na nga asset dineclare na ng korte. Bankrupt. Okay, nag-file ng bankruptcy. Dineclare ng korte. Bankrupt. Kailan dineclare? Ayan, sabihin natin, February 14 of 2023, dineclare na bankrupt. Ang tanong ganito, anong gagawin natin doon sa 1 million nating pautang? Alam natin na wala na, hindi na mababayaran the next, kumbaga, it will no longer be collected. Okay, ang tanong, anong klase yan? Adjusting event ba yan or non-adjusting event? Ang sagot ay ganito. you do not become bankrupt overnight. No? Meaning to say that that condition has already been existing way before 12/31 of 2022. Kaya nga sabi natin dito, that provides evidence of conditions that existed at the end of the reporting period. Hindi ka naman na bankrupt noong February 14, 2023 lang because it has long been existing. I mean, the condition has already been existing even before no December 31 of 2022. Anong ibig sabihin? Ang ibig sabihin lang, it is to be considered as adjusting event, which will require an adjusting journal entry. Ano yung magiging entrada mo? Aba, ang magiging entrada mo ay ganito, a debit to, allowance for doubtful accounts or allowance for bad debts or allowance for uncollectible accounts and credit accounts receivable. Why? Because it is already worthless. Kahit dineklara, yung declaration is only an affirmation of the fact that the customer is already bankrupt. Di ba? Nagkaroon ka na ng solid proof pala, talagang hindi na makokolekta. Yan ang ibig kong sabihin. No? So, adjusting event, non-adjusting event. Okay? Pwede na? Sige, gawin natin ang ating multiple choice. Okay. So, number 1. Yan, tingnan natin, So, ang tanong dito ay, which of the following is a true statement regarding disclosure for events after the reporting period? And answer natin dyan, letter D. Recognize a loss for a recognized subsequent event in the current year financial statement. Sabi natin, ang ating measure or ang ating test dyan ay kung condition has already been existing even before, or as at December, as at the end of the reporting period. Ibig sabihin, i-adjust natin yon. Okay? So, adjusting event. No? Okay. So, number 2, discovery of fraud or error that shows the financial statements are correct. Sa totoo, lahat ng fraud or error should be accounted for as adjusting event. Bakit? Lahat ng fraud or error or any misstatement requires what? Or require correction. Kaya may journal entry or adjusting entry. So number 2 is letter A. So lahat ng mga pula, letter B. Lahat ng mga kulay black, yan ay letter A, meaning adjusting event. Okay, so alin-alin na mga adjusting event natin? Yung number 2, discovery of fraud or error. Number 4, bankruptcy of a customer that occurs after the statement of financial position date. Because it's only, as I said, an affirmation of the fact or of a condition that has already been long existing. Kaya nga yung number 4 requires what? It requires adjustment. O ano pa? Letter A, sale of inventories after statement of financial position date that may give evidence about their net realizable value. O sabihin natin, kunwari, ang carrying amount ng ating inventory ay sabihin natin 500,000. Kaya lang the following year or after the end of the reporting period na ibenta mo lang ng magkano? Naibenta mo lang sabihin natin ng 400,000. Okay, ang ibig sabihin pala ang net realizable value as of December 31, which is the end of the reporting period, nagbigay lang ng evidence na ang net realizable value nun ay 400,000. Di ba? Okay, so ang tanong, that is adjusting event. Ano yan? Di ba nagre-record tayo ng loss from write-down of inventory? Di ba? Kapag ang carrying amount ay mas mataas pa sa net realizable value. Kasi nga, di ba, anong basis natin kapag the measurement basis for inventory? 'Di ba? The lower of cost and net realizable value. Okay, i-adjust mo yan kasi meron ngang loss. Bakit? Kasi yung carrying amount mo mas mataas pa kaysa dun sa net realizable value. So you will have to consider or to recognize a loss as at the end of the reporting period. O, gets nyo? Ganun yun. No? 11. Determination after the statement of financial position date of the profit sharing or bonus payment if the enterprise has the present obligation. Ang key dyan, no? Present, hindi future obligation. Ha? Kailangan existing or a present obligation at statement of financial position date to make payment. Ano ibig sabihin? Kailangan mo ng journal entry for number 11. Ano-ano yung ating mga non-adjusting event? Ang ating non-adjusting event ay ang sumusunod. Announcement of a plan to discontinue operation. Okay? Nangyari yan during, sabihin natin, after the reporting period already. Hindi naman long existing yun. Okay, so it means to say number 3, no, is a non-adjusting event. A major business combination after the statement of financial position date. Abnormally large changes in asset prices of foreign exchange rates. This abnormal destruction of a major production plant by a fire, which I already gave as example. Major ordinary share transaction and potential ordinary share transaction after statement of financial position date. Expropriation of major assets by the government. Sinequester yung mga major assets by the government. Okay, nung kumpanya, di ba? Yung assets ng company is sinequester ng gobyerno. May ganon? May ganon. Okay, number 12. Event, sige, ibigay ko na yung answer ha. Okay. So, ito ano lang naman to. Events after the statement of financial position date are those favorable and unfavorable events that occur between ang dali-dali, the statement of financial position date and the date when FS are authorized for issue or for issuance. Laging yun ang cut-off natin. No? So, number 12 is boy. Number 13 is C. Okay, 14 is A. That is just definition of adjusting event. Number 15 is dog. Number 16 ay A. Number 17 ay A. 18A. 19A. 20 is C. 21 is July 15. Basta hahanapin mo lang kung kailan yung date that the board of directors authorized the FS for issue. O kaya kung July 15 yan ang cut-off mo. Okay, July 15, 2022. 22, ang answer natin is boy. Okay, 23 is dog. 24, dog. 25 is August 15, letter D. 26 is dog. 27 is C. 28 boy. 29 dog. 30 is C. Okay, 31. Meron pa palang 31. No? Ito, tinatanong tayo magkano yung profit before tax in its financial statement. Ang unadjusted profit, no? Before tax, no, as per record ay 9 million. Ang tanong, tama ba yung 9 million na yan? Ayan a fire occurred at one of Enso's sites on January 15, 2023 with resulting damage amounting to 7 million. So sabi mo, only 4 million of which is covered by insurance. Tanong, ito bang nangyaring event na ito will affect the 9 million profit? Ang answer, alam nyo kung ano? Hindi. No, it will not affect. Bakit? This is just a non-adjusting event. It will not affect the 9 million as of December 31 of 2022. Kasi non-adjusting event lang yan. Ano gagawin mo dyan? I-disclose mo lang. Wala naman journal entry. Di ba? To adjust the 9 million profit before tax. Okay. Ito, yung pangalawa. The repairs will take, nasa na yun? Okay, the repairs will take place and be paid in April 2023. No, the 4 million claim from the insurance entity will however be received on February 14, 2023. What should be Enso's profit before tax in its FS? Ang sagot, lahat ng mga yan ay pang-disclosure lang. Kaya 9 million is still intact. Right? Okay, so that's the answer. Letter B. Okay, number 32. Okay, what amount should be recognized as accrued liability? Natural. Pag sinabi nating accrued liability, may journal entry. So yung event, din ano mo, tinreat mo siya or tinlassify mo siya as adjusting event. Okay, ang tanong, magkano? Okay, so tingnan natin. During 2022, Montero Company was sued by a competitor. So ibig sabihin, yung company natin ang defendant na kapag nanalo sa korte yung complainant, magbabayad si Montero. Okay, bakit kaya? Okay, was sued by a competitor for 5 million for infringement of a patent. Nangopya ng invention. Okay, yung company. Inakusahan. So may case, legal case. Based on the advice of the entity's legal counsel, Montero Company accrued the sum of 3 million as a provision in its financial statement for the year ended December 31, 2022. O di may nag-ano raw, yung company natin ay nag-journal entry ng 3 million. Siguro ang entry niya ay debit, no? Loss from litigation, no? Of 3 million. Okay? And credit estimated damages payable. O, di ba? O, yun ang ginawa niya, no? Subsequently, on March 15, 2023, the Supreme Court decided in favor of the party. Nako, yung complainant nanalo, no? Of the party, no, alleging infringement of the patent and ordered the defendant, which is Montero, to pay the aggrieved party a sum of 3,500,000. The financial statements were prepared by the entity's management on February 15 of 2023 and approved by the board of directors on March 31, 2023. Tanong, ano cut-off mo? Yung February 15 or yung March 31? Ang sagot, March 31. Pero hindi yun ang tanong. So yun ang cut-off. Kasi yung pagbabayad ng 3,500,000 nangyari ng March 15. Tanong, ito ba ay isang subsequent event? Okay, the answer is yes. Bakit? Kasi ang cut-off natin March 31 and it only took place, itong payment of the damages took place March 15. So covered na covered. Subsequent event. Ang tanong ay ganito, no? What amount should be recognized as accrued liability on December 31 of 2022? Remember, nag-accrue na sila ng 3 million. Ang actual na binayaran na damages ay 3,500,000. Tanong, yung inaccrue ba na 3 million ay tama nung as of December 31, 2022? Ang answer, hindi pa. Hindi tama. Bakit? Yung 500,000 na ito will also be considered as an addition, no, to the accrual as of December 31. Kaya kung inaccrue niya ng 3 million, kulang pa siya ng 500,000. Bakit? Kasi dapat ang accrued liability niya on December 31, 2022 should have been 3,500,000. Okay? Kaya ano mangyayari? Magkakaroon siya ng journal entry. Ano journal entry niya? Magdagdag siya ng 500,000. Kaya loss from litigation, no, 500,000 and credit estimated liability for damages of 500,000, and that is as of December 31 of 2022. Gets nyo? O, yun ang ibig sabihin yan. O, and tanong ko ganito, paano kung hindi March 15, 2023 ang bayaran? Ang nagbayad ng 3,500,000. Kundi sabihin natin, April 1, April Fools pa. April 1 of 2023. Oh, nagbayad ng 3,500,000. Ang tanong, kailan ba yung cut-off? Ang cut-off, March 31, 2023. This is the date when the BOD, no, authorized the FS for issuance. Yung April 1, nangyari na ang pagbabayad ng 3,500,000 after na ng March 31. Tanong, papansinin mo pa ba yung 3,500,000 magjo-journal entry ka? Hindi na. Bakit? Ang usapan natin, subsequent events up to the cut-off date lang. The date when the financial statements are authorized for issuance. Yung pagbabayad 3,500,000 nangyari after na. Kaya hindi mo na-adjust yung 3 million. So 3 million lang. So ang magiging answer natin dyan, it will not be 3,500,000 but only 3 million. O gets nyo kung paano ina-apply yan. No? Okay, so that is number 32. Number 33. Ito masasagot nyo na to. Okay, so ang answer natin dyan, letter C, 1 million. Okay? So, 1 million. Nagdagdag ka ng another 1 million, no? Tingnan mo. Yung provision mo, 2 million. Kaya lang noong 2022, total damages payable daw to Colin is 3 million. Magdagdag ka pa ng 1 million. Okay, para ring ito, yung number 33, number 32. Okay, 34, answer, letter dog. 35, letter A. Ayan. Okay? So, ganon. Ano? Okay, so let's move to the next one. Ako, medyo marami-rami tayo. Sorry. Ngayon, eto muna ha. Bibigyan ko kayo ng example how non-adjusting events are being disclosed in the notes to financial statement. So, teka, hanap tayo ha. Events after reporting date. So, page 130 of our sample financial statement. So, tingnan natin ang ating sample financial statement. Para makita nyo kung paano ang tawag dito, kung paano siya i-disclose. Jollibee ito. Teka. Nasaan na yung Ayala natin? Sandali lang ha. Okay, where is Ayala? Teka, sandali ha. Kanina nandyan just for you to see ano ba yung actual na, kasi mas madaling maintindihan kapag may example, ano? Okay, so natin si Ayala. Okay, page 130. Yan. Hanapin natin ang page 130. Kasi, syempre, kapag non-adjusting event, taga 130 ha, nasa notes to FS. O, tingnan nyo ha. 130. Ayan, ito. Okay, teka. Let me change my screen. Change screen tayo. Okay. Ayan. Okay. So look at note number 38. Ayan, ang note to 38. O, ayan, ha? Tingnan mo. On January 20, 2022, the Board of Directors of Ayala Land approved a property for share swap with Ayala Corporation and Mermac under the transaction, blah, blah, blah. On February 24, 20, the Board of Directors approved the following. Ayan, no? So, events after the reporting date. So, ilang event yan? Okay? So, ayan. Okay, so, ayan, no? May tatlo silang subsequent events. Ayan. Okay, so number 38. Diba? Note number 38, events after the reporting date. Ano yung mga yan? Ito yung mga events na non-adjusting events, no, that are required to be disclosed in the notes to FS. Okay? Sige. Let's move to the next one. But before that, let us have first, no, our photo session. Sige. Photo session muna tayo. I want you to open your camera now. Okay, so kindly open your camera now. Wait lang ah. Okay. Dali lang, isa-save ko lang na. Ano ba ngayon? March 20, ano? Okay, siguro pwede na yan. Okay. So let's continue. Okay, thank you very much, no? So let's continue our session now. Okay, next item. Ano ba yung next item natin? So let me see ah. Ano ba yung next item natin? Ano ba? Related. Ano ba yung lesson natin susunod? Okay, so we have, tapos na tayo ng lesson 6, events after reporting period. Punta tayo ng lesson 7, earnings per share. PAS number 33. Okay, earnings per share. So, for earnings per share, okay. Pakita ko muna sa inyo yung yung earnings per share. Wait lang ha. So this is okay. So before, para hindi na tayo maistorbo mamaya. Um, earnings per share. Teka, sandali. Okay. Wala. Nawala. Okay. Sandali. O, eto ha. Makikita natin. Para at least may idea na tayo bago tayo mag-discuss ng the nitty-gritty of earnings per share. Okay. Here is Jollibee. No, titingnan natin yung kanyang FS, particularly the earnings per share. So, tingnan natin. Saan ba nilalagay ang earnings per share? So, tingnan muna natin. I-marites muna natin yung kanilang FS. Yung particularly their statement of comprehensive income. Tingnan natin, ha? Saan ba inilalagay ang earnings per share? O, ito, ha? Tingnan natin. Ayan. Okay. Ito siya, oh. Ayan, oh. This one, oh. Ayan. Okay? So, meaning to say, earnings per share is presented in the statement of comprehensive income. Okay. But syempre, pag sinabi nating earnings per share, ang basis mo ay earnings. Anong klaseng earnings? So, earnings after tax, which is your net income. Di ba? Kaya tingnan mo ang nangyari, ayan yun, di ba? Pag sinabi nating earnings per share, no? First, you have the basic earnings per share. Second, you also present your diluted earnings per share. Ngayon sabi mo, ito yung overall nila, no? Kaya lang, if you want to know the composition of the earnings per share, both basic and diluted, saan tayo pupunta? Pupunta tayo sa note 28. O, tingnan lang natin, ano ba yung composition ng basic at saka diluted earnings per share? Okay? So, tingnan natin. Okay, let's go to note number 28. Okay, so page 71. Tingnan natin, ano na ba to? 723 pa lang yan. Okay. Here. 71. Lumampas tayo. Ayan. Okay. Regarding earnings per share, so here is the composition of the earnings per share. Tingnan natin, ano? You have the basic and the diluted earnings per share. They are computed as follows. So, net income attributable to the equity holders of the parent company. No? Okay, eto raw. Tapos, yung weighted average number of shares. So, ito yung ating denominator. Diba? Kaya yung denominator ng basic earnings per share kakaiba sa denominator ng diluted earnings per share. I-compare mo, yung weighted average number of shares for basic ay mas mataas kesa doon sa ang tawag dito, hindi pala. So, eto yung weighted average, tapos tingnan mo yung ating for the basic earnings per share. And then, itong para sa diluted. Tingnan mo yung i-compare mo. Dito tayo sa 2012, Okay. Ito kasi yung among the three statements, ito yung current year nila. Ito yung latest. Okay? So, i-compare mo yan. Pag nagko-compute ka ng basic earnings per share, tingnan mo yung kanyang denominator. I-compare mo ngayon sa denominator kapag ang kino-compute mo ay diluted earnings per share. Alin ang mas mataas? Mas mataas ang denominator kapag diluted earnings per share. Kasi pag sinabi nating diluted earnings per share, you consider even those no, securities that are dilutive. Ano ibig sabihin ng dilute? Ang ibig sabihin ng dilute, ibig sabihin or dilute, bababa yung earnings per share natin. Mataas ang basic earnings per share, pag diluted earnings per share mas mababa. Kasi we consider as denominator all securities that are what? That are to be or that are potential ordinary shares. By the way, yung pinagsasasabi dito na denominator or weighted average number of shares are only exclusive to ordinary shares. Who are the ordinary shareholders? They are the true owners of the corporation. Kaya yung mga pinagsasasabing weighted average number of shares na yan, they only pertain to what? To ordinary shares. Ngayon, pag sinabi nating weighted average number of shares, ito yung mga shares outstanding. Paano yung bakit ito tumaas doon sa weighted average, yung weighted average shares ng diluted? Bakit mataas? Kasi even the potential ordinary shares are included. Ano yung mga potential ordinary shares? Etong mga kunwari, let's say may bonds payable ka that are convertible into ordinary shares. Tanong, are they potential ordinary shares? Yes, kapag in-exercise yung conversion right. Ano pa? Kapag merong mga share rights, bakit? Kasi later on, kapag nag-issue ka ng shares, they become ordinary shares kapag in-exercise yung share option or yung share rights. Di ba? So, ganun ang mangyayari. Kaya natagdagan itong ating weighted average share. Okay? Ngayon, sabi natin, no? Ayan nakalagay. There were no anti-dilutive option outstandings as of December 31, 2012 and 2011. Okay, except those that have been reported. Di ba? Okay. So, basic and diluted. No, laging partner yan, dalawang yan. Hindi pwedeng puro basic lang. Pati diluted earnings per share kasali. Ngayon, lalo na, of course, earnings per share no is mandatory no to be presented no in the financial statement, particularly the statement of comprehensive income. No, mandated yan or mandatory yan for those corporations that are listed in the Philippine Stock Exchange. Meaning to say that those corporations with public accountability. Bakit? Kasi 'di ba, yung mga shareholders no, they come from different sectors of the society. So of course, the government mandates no the presentation of earnings per share for the protection of the investing public. 'Di ba? Kaya yan inilalagay ang earnings per share na yan. Alam naman natin ang earnings per share, no? Is what? It influences market price. O kagaya mo, kung ikaw meron kang pera na i-invest mo sa mga kumpanya, syempre gusto mong i-invest sa mga kumpanyang mataas ang kanilang reported earnings per share. Di ba? Ano magiging basis nila? Aba, ang galing palang kumita nitong company nito. Tingnan mo ang earnings per share. Sige nga, makabili nga ako ng stock. That's the reason why earnings per share is an indicator of success, of financial performance. And it even influences directly the market price. Tingnan mo yung mga companies, mataas ang report nila ng earnings per share. Tumataas ang market price nila. Nagiging saleable eh. Okay, kaya that's how important earnings per share. O ngayon, hanapin natin yung PAS 33. Paano ba tayo nagko-compute ng earnings per share? What will be our guide? Ayan. So yan ngayon, makakatulong ang PAS number 33. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so wait for my screen again. Earnings per share. Stop sharing. Ayaw nang bumuksan. Okay, stop sharing tayo. And then I am going to share another handout. Ayan. Okay? So, importante pala ang earnings per share. Dati, hindi nyo pinapansin yan eh. Okay. Ayan. Ano na objective ng PAS number 33 to prescribe principles for the determination and presentation of EPS so as to improve comparison. Ayan. Ibig sabihin, kung ako ay prospective investor, no, I need information such as earnings per share so that I may compare companies or entities, no, in the same reporting period and between different reporting periods for the same entity para malaman ko kung safe ba na mag-invest dun sa kumpanya. Siyempre, kung ang pinresent ng kumpanya ay loss per share instead of earnings per share, pwede ba yun? Oo, natural. Kung may earnings, pwede rin naman may case na loss per share. Siyempre, aayawan ko yung loss per share, no? Kaya I can compare. No, I have information so that information I will use in improving comparison between different entities para makapamili ako which one or which company or companies I would be placing my money. O, yun ang ibig sabihin yan. Okay? Now, earnings per share is the amount attributable to every ordinary share outstanding during the period. So, EPS is computed for ordinary shares only. Yan ang sinasabi ko. Kahit mayroon pang preference share yan, hindi kasali ang preference share. Ang determination of EPS is only based on ordinary shares. Okay. Objective of basic earnings per share to provide a measure of the interest of each ordinary share of a parent entity in the performance of the entity over the reporting period. Okay. Kagaya ng Jollibee Foods Corporation and Ayala Lands, mga parent company yan. Kaya, ibig sabihin, dun sa consolidated statement, meron APS na ipapakita. Okay. So, the uses of EPS serves as determinant of the market price. Diba sabi ko sa inyo, it directly influences the market price of stocks. Okay. Second, measure of performance of management. Sabi natin, indicator of earnings yan. Indicator of financial performance. So, grabe, kudos to management, no, of companies with talagang very high earnings per share. And then, the basis of dividend policies of the company. Siyempre, yung mga shareholders, they are interested to know how much will be distributed as dividend. So natural kung masyadong strong ang company, no, earning capacity ng company, of course, stockholders, no, may expect for higher dividends, no, kasi mataas ang earnings, 'di ba, ng company. Measure of pag sinabi natin BEPS, basic earnings per share. It is calculated for profit or loss attributable to ordinary equity holders of the parent entity and profit or loss from continuing operation attributable to ordinary share equity holders of the parent entity. Okay. Ngayon, ang tanong ganito, di ba, kung two classes of stock yun, or let's say, there are two classes of stock, preference at saka ordinary shareholders, ordinary shares. Ang tanong, yung bang lahat ng earnings or yung net income after tax, no? Net income, ipandi-divide natin ng weighted average number of ordinary shares. Anong ba ang ibabawas doon sa earnings per share? Remember, hindi lahat ay mapupunta yung dividendo doon sa preference, sa ordinary, meron preference. Anong gagawin mo? Paano kung may preference, no? Shares. Ang gagawin mo sa earnings per share, may i-deduct ka. Okay, ganito ang gagawin mo, no? Kapag may preference dividend, or preference shareholders, And the kind of dividend or the kind of preference is that of a cumulative preference share. Ano ibig sabihin ng cumulative preference share? Ang ibig sabihin ng cumulative ganito. Kunwari, hindi nag-declare ng dividendo nung last year, pero nag-declare this year. Pag sinabing cumulative preference, it means to say that the declaration of the dividend this year includes undeclared dividends of last year. So ang babayaran, kasi cumulative preference. Ang babayaran nung kunwari 2022 hindi nag-declare, pero 2023 nag-declare. Ang tanong, no? Ibig sabihin, kapag merong dividends in arrears, ano ibig sabihin ng dividends in the arrears? Undeclared dividends of last year. Pag nag-declare ng 2023, it includes even the undeclared dividends of last year. Bakit? Kasi cumulative yung preference. Okay? Pag hindi cumulative, pag nag-declare ngayon ng dividendo 2023 at nung last year, hindi nag-declare ng dividendo, ang tanong, yung declaration ba ng dividend will also include the undeclared dividend of last year? The answer is no, no, no. Okay? Kasi non-cumulative. Di ba ganun ang ibig sabihin? Ngayon, sabi natin, ima-minus ba natin yung preference dividend from the earnings, no? Para sa pag-compute natin ng earnings per share. Okay. If it is cumulative preference, whether declared or undeclared yung dividendo, no? Ima-minus mo yung para sa preference dividend. Bakit? Kasi cumulative. Pero pag non-cumulative yung dividend, yung preference, no? Non-cumulative, no? You will only deduct preference dividend when the dividend is declared. Pag undeclared, hindi mo i-deduct. Kaya titingnan mo anong klaseng preference share ang meron. Kung cumulative or not cumulative or non-cumulative. Kapag cumulative, mag-declare man or hindi mag-declare ng dividend, basta for purposes of calculating earnings per share, imamine mo sa earnings yung preference dividend, whether declared or not declared. Pero kapag non-cumulative yan, ima-minus mo lang yung preference dividend kapag nag-declare ng dividendo. Pag hindi nag-declare, wala kang ima-minus dun sa earnings that you will use as numerator, no, to compute for earnings per share. So is that understood? Kaya titingnan mong mabuti kasi merong implication no, kung cumulative or non-cumulative. Di ba? Okay. Ngayon, ito mga stock dividend, share split, etc., will this affect the weighted average number of shares? Oo. Kasi itong stock split at saka yung mga stock dividend, if there are transactions such as this, during the year, yung effect niyan, the effect of this, stock dividend and share dividend will be considered as events that had occurred at the beginning of the earliest period presented. Kaya ang mangyayari niyan, ang effect niyan retrospective, as if nangyari yung mga events kahit end of the year pa nangyari itong mga stock split at saka itong share split na yan. So, they will be considered as events that had occurred at the beginning of the earliest period. Kaya sa pagko-compute natin ng weighted average outstanding ordinary shares. Di ba? Naaalala nyo? Ganon, nakalagay pala lahat yan sa PAS 33. Okay? Ngayon, sabi naman natin, what about the objective? Meron ng basic earnings per share. Bakit kailangan pa ng diluted earnings per share? Ano ba objective niyan? To provide a measure of the interest of each ordinary share in the performance of an entity while giving effect to all dilutive potential ordinary shares. Ano ibig sabihin ng dilutive? Nakaka-decrease dilutive no? To dilute meaning to decrease. Kasi ang tendency is that yung calculation mo ng EPS when it is diluted earnings per share mas maliit kaysa dun sa basic earnings per share. Bakit? Lumaki yung denominator mo. Bakit lumaki yung denominator mo? Kasi po lahat ng dilutive potential ordinary shares isinama sa basic earnings per share. Hindi. Okay, kaya natural, kung mas kakaunti ang denominator, mas malaki yung earnings per share. Pero sa diluted earnings per share, mas maliit ang earnings per share. Bakit? Lumaki yung denominator mo. Bakit? Kasi lahat ng securities that have a dilutive effect, no? No? And that those are potential ordinary shares, pinagsasaksak doon sa denominator. Kaya talaga liliit yung diluted earnings per share. O, gets nyo? O, ganon, ano? Okay. So, ano step natin? O, ayan, may steps tayo in calculating diluted earnings per share. Okay. So, meron tayong tinatawag dyan na treasury stock method. Anong ibig sabihin? Yung daw proceeds from the exercise of stock option. Di ba pag nagkakaroon ng stock option or share option, ibig sabihin niyan, meron kang proceeds from the issuance of share let's say ordinary shares. O yun daw pera as if gagamitin mo in order to reacquire shares. No? Kaya ang tawag treasury stock method. Parang ganito, ang assumption, yung mga proceeds from the exercise of the options and warrants are assumed to be used to acquire treasury shares at average market price. Kaya tinawag siya na treasury stock method. No? Kasi yun ang assumption. No, na bibili mo yung mga pinagbili mo or yung mga pinag-i-issue mong shares, yung mga proceeds from the issuance of ordinary shares, ginamit mo in order to reacquire shares. Ano yung reacquisition ng shares? Treasury stock. Kaya nga tinawag na treasury stock method. Anong effect ng treasury stock sa outstanding shares? Di ba kapag ikaw nag-reacquire ng shares or treasury shares nga, ano mangyayari sa outstanding shares? Liliit ang outstanding shares. O, get nyo? Gets nyo? O, di natural, liliit yung denominator. Pero isa lang yan kasi nga meron mga share split or share stock dividend na pwedeng makapag-increase ng outstanding ordinary shares. At kino-consider natin yan in the calculation. And aside from that, kino-consider din natin yung conversion of what? Conversion of bonds payable or convertible bonds payable, no? Into ordinary shares. Kaya potential din yon na meron dilutive effect on the ordinary shares. Okay? Or dilutive effect on dilutive effect on the earnings per share. Okay. So, ganon, ano? Kaya kung simple capital structure lang, alam problema Hindi masyadong mahirap mag-compute. Pero pag dalawang classes of stock or complex yung capital structure, ano nangyayari? Ayan nga, if there is only one class of shares, dali-dali lang, wala kang i-deduct doon sa net income after tax. Pero kapag there are two classes of shares, ano nangyayari? Ito yung sinasabi ko sa inyo, okay? May preference dividends during the year. No? Okay? Na makakabawas dun sa net income, that will serve as your numerator in computing for earnings per share. Ayun. Okay? So, ganun lang. Meron tayong formulang inilagay dyan. Okay. Ayan, no? Presentation of EPS on the face of the income statement. Natural, pag sinabi nating statement of comprehensive income, that also includes income statement. Okay, present the BEPS and the DEPS from continuing operation. Now, present BEPS and DEPS with equal prominence for all periods presented. Kaya nga di ba, kunwari kung yearly, meron ka ring yearly EPS. Kunwari kung 3 taon yung comparative FS mo, meron ka ring 3 sets of what? 3 sets of EPS, 1 for each year. Okay? So meron tayong mga definition of terms dyan. So I hold you responsible for that. Okay. Let's answer multiple choice theory. Number one, C. We will not be wasting time today. Ha? Bagay, hindi naman tayo nag-waste ng time. Number, kulang pa nga yung time natin eh. 1 is C, number 2 A, 3 C, 4 C, 5 A, 6 boy, 7 A, 8 A, 9 dog, 10 boy, 11 dog, 12 C, 13 C, 14 dog, 15 boy, 16 boy, 17 C, 18 C, 19 C, 20 C. Okay? So, please study the questions or the multiple choice questions at home. No? Binigay ko na sa inyo yung answer. Okay, so next lesson. Tapos natin to. So, be patient ha. Marami talaga. Sorry to say. Okay, so which one is next? Stop share ko na. Okay, so let's have another set. Lesson 8. So for lesson 8, eto, maganda to. Related party disclosures. Okay, lesson 8. Okay. So, related party. Ayan. Tingnan natin ha. Magtingin muna tayo ng, when you say related party, we are not talking about journal entries here. Ang nakalagay dito, related party disclosures. So, ang titingnan natin, how companies disclose their related party transactions. Ano ba yung idini-disclose sa notes to financial statement? They are related party transactions. At aalamin natin, ano-ano ba yung mga related party transactions? But first, let us know who are considered as related parties of the reporting entity. Tao ba yung mga yan? O mga entities din na katulad ng kumpanya? Okay, so titingnan natin dyan. No? So related party disclosures. Now, meron ba yung sariling PAS? Ang sa answer, meron. PAS number 24. Okay, so first of all, let me show you an example of a related party an example of related party disclosure. So, pakialaman natin, usyusohin natin yung Jollibee financial statement. Kasi yung sa Ayala Corporation, ang haba-haba ng related, ng kanilang related party. No, may mga table pa, super haba. Okay, so marami palang related parties itong Ayala. O tingnan natin si Jollibee. How Jollibee disclosed related party transactions. Okay, tingnan natin. So wait for a while. Jollibee ito. Okay, so it's Jollibee. Okay, so let me share my screen muna. Page 70. Ayan. Okay, maikli lang ang related party ni Jollibee. Ayala super haba eh. Okay, so ito ang related party transactions. Ito yung sinasabing related party disclosures. Kasi saan mo matatagpuan ito? Sa notes to financial statement. Di disclosure nga. No, it doesn't talk about, PAS number 24 is not concerned with journal entries. Walang journal entries dito na sinasabi. Ang sinasabi ng PAS 24, paano mo ipe-present yung mga transaksyones ni reporting entity with those of related parties. Ayan. Okay, so tingnan natin, basahin natin. Note number 27. The Jollibee Group has transactions within and among the consolidated entities and related parties. A related party is an entity that has the ability to control or exercise significant influence. Hala, sabi mo, related party is an entity that has the ability to control or exercise significant influence. Ano ba yung has the ability to control? The ability to control? Di ibig sabihin ng ability to control or an entity that has the ability to control means a parent company. A parent company is related to its affiliates or subsidiary. O, di ba? Kaya ibig sabihin, pag sinabi nating related party, the parent is related to each and every subsidiary. O, okay? And that subsidiary, let's say, kung si parent, meron siyang tatlong subsidiaries. Subsidiary A, subsidiary B, subsidiary C. O, si parent related to subsidiary kasi parent at saka child. O, di ba? Related sila, mag-ama sila. Parang ganun din. Yung parent company, anak niya, itong si subsidiary, kaya related sila. So any transaction with them will be considered as related party transaction. Okay. Kaya lang, sabi natin, kung maiisip natin or kung alam natin yung effect ng mga intercompany transactions. Diba? Alam natin yun, ano? Yung mga intercompany transactions, yung mga due from nyo. No? Advances from affiliates. Okay? 'Di ba meron tayong mga sinasabi na ano ang tawag dito? Upstream, downstream transaction. Do you still relate? Can you relate? Of course, meron kayong accounting for business combination, 'di ba? May mga upstream sales, upstream purchases or downstream sales, downstream purchases. Meron tayong utangan blues, advances from affiliates. Si parent nagpautang kay subsidiary, subsidiary nagpautang kay parent, na si subsidiary A nagpautang kay subsidiary B, and vice versa. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, no, they are what? They are affiliates. And normally, for a parent, or rather, for a consolidated financial statement, consolidated, sinasabi ko hindi unconsolidated. For consolidated financial statements, all intercompany transactions, hindi na kailangan pang i-disclose. Bakit? Kasi yung mga transactions na yan ay di ba pag nagko-consolidate tayo, anong ginagawa natin dito sa mga intercompany transactions na ito? Di ba ang ginagawa natin ay ini-eliminate natin for purposes of preparing or presenting consolidated financial statement. Kaya ibig sabihin, kung ang pinag-uusapan natin, related party transactions of a consolidated financial statement, natural, lahat ng mga intercompany transactions ay wala na dahil in-eliminate na natin. Ngayon, pag sinabi nating unconsolidated financial statement, kasi itong parent, pwede siyang mag-present ng separate financial statement. Ang tawag natin unconsolidated yon, no? Or si subsidiary, magpe-present siya ng isang separate financial statement. Yung transaction niya with a parent or transaction niya, let's say with another subsidiary, will be considered as related party. Bakit? Hindi mo naman in-eliminate yun eh. Bakit? Kasi nag-elimination lang tayo pag gagawa tayo ng consolidated FS. Gets nyo? Kaya titingnan nyo, related party disclosure saan? sa consolidated FS ba or sa unconsolidated FS? Kasi kapag consolidated FS, wala nang problema yan dahil wala nang intercompany transactions kasi ineliminate na natin lahat as a result of consolidation. Diba? Pero sa unconsolidated FS, aba, yung transaction natin kay parent at saka kay, let's say, another subsidiary, since we are all related parties, kailangang i-disclose mo. Okay? Kapag sa separate FS. So sabi mo, ala, ganun pala yun, ano? Kaya importante yan, no? A related party is an entity that has the ability to control. Si parent controls the subsidiary. Si subsidiary nagpapakontrol kay parent. Magka-related sila, related sila. They are related parties. Okay. Ngayon, ang tanong ko ganito, si subsidiary A, related ba siya kay subsidiary B? Siyempre. Si subsidiary A, related ba kay subsidiary C? Siyempre. Si subsidiary B ba related kay subsidiary C? Siyempre. Okay? Kaya related parties sila. Okay? Eto pa, meron pang isa. A related party is an entity that has the ability to exercise significant influence. What is this? Di ba, ito yung sinasabi nating associate. Si investor, no? I associate, magka-associate sila ni investee. Siyempre, investment in associate. Sino naglalagay ng ano, sino ang nagme-maintain yung account na yan? Di siyempre, yung investor. So, ibig sabihin, si investee, no? He can exercise significant influence over the investee. Anong tawag sa kanya? Associate. Kaya nga ginamit natin. Investment in associate. So let's say si A company, no, is the investor that has the ability to control, or to, no, not to control, but to exercise significant influence over company B, the investee. So for company A, the investee is an associate. Therefore, si company A and company B are what? Are related parties. Wala, ganun pala yun, ano? Oo, ganun yun. Eto pa, isa. Ay, walang sinabi dito. Directly or indirectly over the other parties in making financial decision. Okay, eto. Joint venture. Sabihin natin, ganito. Merong JV company. A joint venture of company A, company B, and company C. Tatlo sila na joint venturers. Question. Company A related to JV company, the joint venture? Answer, yes. Si company B related kay joint venture? Yes. Si company C as a joint venturer, no, related to the joint venture? Yes, they are related, or meaning to say with respect to the joint venture and each of these joint ventures, no, related party. But si joint venturer 1, A, is not related to joint venturer B, nor joint venturer B related to joint venturer C. Ang magka-related party lang, syempre, yung joint venturer at saka yung JV or joint venture company. Diba? Yun ang ibig sabihin yan. Pero sila, ng mga joint venturers, they are not related parties. If they do business with each other, hindi yon related party transactions because they are not related parties. Pero with respect to joint venture, yung mismong company na joint venture, kapag nagkaroon ng transaction si venturer A, dito kay joint venture, that is to be construed as a related party. Pero kapag nagkaroon ng transaction si joint venturer 1, A, with that of joint venturer B, hindi sila considered as related parties. Kaya hindi yung transaction will not be considered as a related party transaction. O, ganun ba yon? Oh, yes, ganun yon, no? Okay, mamaya meron pang ibang related parties. So, first, tingnan mo na, scrutinize natin yung related party transactions disclosure. Okay, so tingnan mo ha. Nakalagay dyan. Transactions between members of the Jollibee Group and the related parties are eliminated at consolidation. Ito yung sinasabi ko sa inyo na yung parent with subsidiary with respect to consolidated FS. And are no longer included in the disclosure kasi nga in-eliminate na natin yung mga intercompany transactions. Kasi nga pinag-uusapan nila natin consolidated FS. Kaya sa consolidated FS, hindi na sila related party transactions na i-disclose kasi eliminated na sila lahat. Yung mga transactions na yon. Pero kapag unconsolidated, yun ang may related party. Yung lahat ng mga transactions between parent and the subsidiaries, yan, related parties yan. Okay? Okay, ano-ano yung mga related party transactions na i-disclose ni Jollibee? Okay, para mamaya makita nyo. Compensation of key management personnel. Is key management personnel related to the reporting entity? Ang answer, yes. And not only the key management personnel, but the close family members of the key management personnel. Kapag kunwari, ito si Jollibee, no, ay nakipag-transaction siya sa anak, no, ng presidente ng Jollibee, tanong, related party transaction yan? Yes. Bakit? Kasi si presidente ni Jollibee na may anak, no, they are both related parties with respect to Jollibee Foods. Kaya pag sinabing key management personnel, ito yung mga key officers ng company. They have managerial positions because they make decisions. Kaya sinabing key management personnel. Ngayon, kung rank and file ka lang, ikaw ay isang hamak na empleyado lang or crew, hindi ka related party kasi wala ka namang managerial position. Gets nyo? Kaya pag sinabing key management personnel, yun lang merong managerial position. At ang kanilang close family members. Ano-ano yung mga close family members? Okay, ni key management personnel. Papalagay mo, presidente ng kumpanya. Mayroon siyang asawa. Kasal sila? Yes. Kaya spouse. Tanong, kapag ito yung asawa ng presidente ay nakipag-transact dito kay related party, ay kay reporting entity, I mean, tanong, yung bang transaction nilang dalawa ng asawa ay asawa lang ha? Okay. Related party transaction. Answer, yes. Bakit? Kasi si key management personnel, itong asawa niya is considered to be a close family member. Paano yung anak? Yung anak ni presidente at saka nung spouse, related party dito kay related party dito kay reporting entity? Yes. Kaya kahit yung anak nakipag-transact dito sa kumpanya ng tatay niya, na presidente yung tatay niya o vice presidente pa yung tatay niya, any key managerial position, no, will be considered as related party transaction. I-disclose? Yes. Okay. Ngayon, tanong. Paano? No? Paano Ito. Yung parents, close family member? Yes. Yung brothers or sisters ni key management personnel? Hindi. No? Kaya ibig sabihin, yung dependents lang nitong si key management personnel. Ang tanong, paano? Yung key management personnel na yan, hindi naman niya asawa. Ka-live-in lang. Domestic partner. Tanong, yung yung ka-live-in na yon, hindi kasal di ba? Kagaya ni ito totoo naman to, di ba? Si Kuwangko, di ba ka-live-in partner ni Gretchen. Hindi naman sila kasal Okay, tanong, pag si Gretchen ba nakipag-transact dito sa any company ni Kuwangko, will be considered as related party transaction? Answer, yes. Okay? Bakit? Kasi domestic partner eh. Kahit live-in lang yan. Tama? Paano kung nagkaanak? O, di ba, nakakakasal lang nung anak. O, tino, marites tayo, no? Si Dominic, o, kinasal. Tanong, kapag ito si Dominic na ang asawa ay, ang tawag dito, ay businessman din. Okay. Ngayon, kapag ito si Dominic nakipag-transact doon sa kumpanya ng tatay niya, related party transaction, answer, yes pa rin. Oh, you see? Yan ang ibig sabihin, malawak ang related party transaction. No? Napakalawak. Okay, ngayon, normally sa audit, no, sa audit, okay? Ang mga auditor at the outset pa lang, preliminary meeting pa lang, pagagawin na yung kumpanya, yung mismong auditee or yung kliyente, pagagawin na ng pagagawin na ng corporate tree. Ano yung corporate tree? Ito yung parang organizational chart. Hindi positions ang nakalagay. Ang nakalagay related parties nila. So doon mo makikita. Kaya nga sabi ko sa inyo, hindi ko gagamitin yung sa Ayala. Ang masyadong malawak ang kanilang related party. Okay? So, yon, tingnan natin muna yung related party transactions. Compensation of key management personnel of Jollibee Group. Ayan, The aggregate compensation and benefits to key management personnel of Jollibee Group. Ayan, laki, 243,239,599. Hindi na natin mabasa, no? Okay. So stock option expense o net pension expense, employee car plan, and other long-term benefits. O ibig sabihin yung mga compensation of key management personnel, kailangan inire-report. Hala, pati yun, inire-report, yes. Pero wala naman mga pangalan, kundi yun lang amounts at ano yung type ng transaction. O, gets nyo? O, di ba? Kasi transparent daw dapat. Baka nga naman itong mga officers na to nagpapayaman ng gusto. No? Sobra-sobra. Okay? Kaya tinitingnan din yan. Kasi kung ikaw prospective investor ka, alayo ko na dun sa company, grabe. Sobra naman ang natatanggap ng mga officers. Baka kung ano na yan, di ba, mga ganyan. Kaya dinidisclose pati yung mga compensation nitong key management personnel. Pero hindi naman naka-itemize by name. Wag namang ganun, no? Kundi lahatan, no? Okay? So in total. Right? Ano pa ang example of related party transactions that are disclosed? Transactions with retirement plan. Ayun! Isang related party to the reporting entity is its own retirement benefit plan. Hala, sabi mo, hindi naman yung tao ah. Bakit? Ang retirement benefit plan or pension plan of any company, whether under the custody of a trustee o kaya naman their own nandoon sa kanila, no? This plan is considered as a separate taxable entity. Tandaan mo, no? Kapag nagkakaroon ng contribution to the plan, no? The contribution does not belong, no, to the company anymore, but it belongs to the plan. Sinet aside na yon for the retirement of employees in the future. Okay? Kaya ang ibig sabihin, yung kumpanya pwedeng mangutang dun sa retirement plan na yon. Ngayon, kapag nagkautangan blues, imagine, yung mismong employer, mangungutang siya doon sa retirement benefit plan na sinet up niya para sa mga empleyado. Pwede bang mangyari yon? Yes! Okay? Tanong, yung utang na yon, yung utangan blues na yon, is it considered as a related party transaction? Yes, because the employer and the retirement benefit plan, no, they are related parties. Okay, galing Kasi alam mo, sa totoo lang, ang retirement benefit plan, once it is set up for the benefit of the employees, kasi pang-retirement na pay ng mga empleyado yan, it is considered as a separate taxable entity. Tinataksan ba yan? Eh yes, kumikita kaya ang retirement benefit plan. Meron mga dividendo dyan. Meron niya mga income from interest. Kasi 'di ba yung mga securities na yan yung mismo mga pondo, they are being placed in money market or in some other ventures. Kaya kumikita yung plan. Kaya yung kita ng plan is also being taxed. Kaya maraming pera yung retirement benefit plan. Yung reporting entity, kailangan ng cash, immediate cash. Inutangan niya yung retirement benefit plan which is under the custody of, let's say, a trustee bank. Kaya nga 'di ba may mga bangkong 'di ba kagaya ng ng Security Bank and Trust Company kasi trusteeship services. So sila yung nagma-manage ng retirement plan, ng pension plan. Kung inutangan ng employer, ano yun tawag doon? That's a transaction, an example of a transaction between the employer or the reporting entity with the retirement benefit plan. Okay, kaya tingnan mo, nakalagay number of shares, cost, market value, unrealized gain. So yun lang pala ang related party, sa kanila, Okay. Kaya lang parang hindi tayo naniniwala minsan, Kasi imposible naman na yung mga key management personnel walang utang sa at saka ito pa, isa pa, kunwari let's say na personal loan nitong si presidente nung company ng reporting entity. Nangutang siya sa bangko, personal loan. Ginarantiyahan ni company. Kunwari si Jollibee, ginarantiyahan ni Jollibee. Tanong, related party transaction yun? Yes. No? Is it required na i-disclose yun? Yes, guarantee yan ng utang In the event na si presidente hindi mabayaran yung personal loan with the bank, and the bank, the lender will run after Jollibee. Right? Guarantee. Oh. Diba? So, that's about it. Let's go now to Teka, wait lang So, PAS number 24. So, ang dami palang dapat matutunan. Okay, so let's see, related party disclosures. Okay. Kaya may mga disclosure requirements Kaya ang sinasabi ko sa inyo, for every PAS or PFRS, hindi lang recognition, hindi lang measurement, hindi lang classification, but also disclosures. You have to really understand, that there are required disclosures. Okay? And yan, related party, disclosure yan, requirement. Hindi pinag-iusapan ng journal entry dyan, but the disclosure of the related party transactions for greater transparency. Okay? Kasi kailangan ng investing public yan. O yung mga information na ganyan. Okay, so let's have PAS number 24. It lang Hindi na ako magbibigay ng break I used to, dapat magbe-break tayo, kaya lang hindi nga kaya dahil dami nating gagawin Okay, so tiis muna ako nagugutom na rin Okay, teka wait lang nahanap ko yung isa, nalilito na ako dito sa pagpipindutin natin dito. Okay. Ayan, The objective of PAS or IAS 24 is to ensure that an entity's financial statements contain the disclosures necessary to draw attention to the possibility that its financial position and profit or loss may have been affected by the existence of related parties and by transactions and outstanding balances with such parties. Kasi minsan may mga ganyan, ginagawang milking cow yung company, no? Kagaya ng kunwari mga officers ng company, sometimes they take advantage, utang dito, utang doon, etc. Transaction dito, transaction doon, wala nang bayaran. And in fact, even the bayaran, even the outstanding balance, baka mamaya inira-write off na for the sake or for the benefit of the key management personnel. Pwede bang mangyari yun? Pwedeng mangyari yun. Okay. Kaya ito pa lang, who are related parties? A related party is a person or entity that is related to the entity that is preparing its financial statements, referred to as the reporting entity. Kaya kanina, reporting entity ako ng reporting entity. Okay. A person or a close member of that person's family. Kaya ibig sabihin yan, no, the key management personnel as well as his close or his or her close family members, no, related party yan. Has control over, ito yung sinasabi natin, has control or joint control over the reporting entity. Has significant influence over the reporting entity. Is a member of the key management personnel of the reporting entity, no, or of a parent of the reporting entity. Kung makikita mo, pag sinabing related party, no, not necessarily only natural person. Pwedeng non-living things like entity. 'Di ba? Ang entity, let's say yung isang corporation or isang entity, ano 'yan? Natural person ba 'yon? Of course not. Siya ay isang juridical entity. May separate personality siya, no? As far as law is concerned. 'Di ba? Kaya pwedeng natural person or pwedeng juridical person ang close ang related party, no? Okay. Ngayon, kunwari sabihin natin, no, isang stockholder na ang kanyang holding sa company sa reporting entity is at least 20%. Question, related party yung stockholder at saka itong si at saka ito si reporting entity. Answer, yes. Bakit? Mag-associate sila eh. Kasi si stockholder, investment in associate niya itong si reporting entity kasi ang kanyang outstanding share ay at least 20%. Paano kung si stockholder owns 51%, no, of the entity, reporting entity? Question, related party sila? Yes. In fact, the stockholder who owns 51% of the outstanding share is considered as a parent and that of the reporting entity as the subsidiary. Hala. Okay, o kaya naman, sabihin natin, si joint venturer, di ba sinabi ko na sa inyo yan, the joint venturer, no, with respect to the reporting entity that is the joint venture, no, related party sila. Okay? Ngayon, paano kung ang ownership lang nung stockholder ay 10%? 10%, hindi man mag 20%, o 10% lang. Tanong, si stockholder tsaka si reporting entity, are they related parties? The answer, no. Bakit? Hindi naman 20% 20% para maging associate. O, di ba? Na considered as related party na. Pero kung less than 20%, hindi pa related party yun. Okay, lalo naman kunwari yung stockholder, 1% lang ang ownership dun sa company, di lalo nang hindi related party yun. Okay, kaya titingnan nyo. Okay. So next, an entity is related to reporting entity if any of the following condition applies. The entity and the reporting entity are members of the same group. Ayan. Ayan, sinabi ko na rin sa inyo yan. One entity is an associate or joint venture of the other entity. Both entities are joint ventures of the same third party. One entity is a joint venture of a third entity and the other entity is as an associate of the third entity. Okay, etc. No, ito lang naman, umiikot lang dun sa mga ganun. Ano? Examples of related party. O, tingnan natin. Ha? Affiliates. O, sinabi ko na yan. Associates. Venturers. Key management personnel. Okay. Kunwari, ang mga, ito, mga VP ka. CEO ka or other officers with responsibility of controlling the activities of the entity. Ikaw yung treasurer ng company. Ikaw yung controller ng company. Ano ka? Key management personnel ka. Okay? So, close family members of key management personnel. Example, the individual spouse and children. Children of the individual spouse, domestic partner. Ito yung live-in. No? And children. Kakikay children ng domestic partner, no, which may not be who may not be your own child or your own children. O, 'di ba? Domestic partner. Kunwari yung babae may anak sa iba. O considered 'yan as children, 'di ba? Okay, so dependents of the individual or the individual spouse. Kunwari parents, no? Pwede 'yan. Pero ang mga brothers and sisters hindi. Unless na dependent sila ni ano. Pero paano naman kung dependent makikipag-transact kay pwede rin naman siguro. Basta dependents, no, ni key management personnel. Post-employment benefit plan, sinabi ko na rin 'yan. Okay? Next. Following are deemed not related parties. Ayan, hindi ito mga related parties. O, two venturers who share joint control. Sabi ko sa iyo, si venturer A is not related to joint venturer B. Okay? Two entities simply because they have a director or key management in common. Di ba may mga ganon, ano? No? Kunwari, director ka ng ABC company, director ka pa ng DEF company. Tanong, because they have the same director, is ABC Corporation related to DEF Corporation simply because may common director sila? The answer is no. Okay? Ano pa ang hindi related parties? Yung providers of finance, let's say yung banko mo, yung depository bank mo, hindi yung related parties sa'yo. Trade unions, public utilities, and departments and agencies of a government that does not jointly control, or significantly influence the reporting entity. Yung mga government entities, no? Hindi mo naman pwedeng sabing related party mo yun. Kunwari, private company, related party mo ba yung government just because meron kang transaction with the government? Hindi. Okay. A single customer, supplier, franchisor, distributor, or general agent with whom an entity transacts a significant volume of business, no, merely by virtue of the resulting economic dependence. No, kunwari yung supplier mo, dahil nakikipag-transact ka sa supplier mo, related party kayo? Not necessarily. O, di ba? Nakikipag-transact ka sa customer mo, o, related party ba kayo? Ay, hindi rin, no? Okay. So, what are related party transactions? A related party transaction is a transfer of resources, services, or obligations between related parties regardless of whether a price is charged or not. Free bono man or pro bono man, libre o hindi man libre. Okay, basta related party. Example, itong si Jollibee Corporation ay nag-provide, no, ng birthday, no, nagpa birthday bash. Grabe. Nagpa-birthday bash. O, libre lahat ng food para doon sa birthday party nung president's daughter. Question, di libre. Sabi mo, related party ba yon transaction? The answer is yes. May charge man or walang charge, related party transaction yan. Kailangan i-disclose mo yan. O, gets nyo? Ganon, no? Meron kayang gagawa ng ganon, ano? Pero sa totoo lang, meron mga ganyan, ano? O dahil family, ko yun, kumbaga sabihin natin, let's say corporation, no? Na mga party or event organizer na something like corporation, corporate ang dating. Wow, ang grabe naman, napakabongga. Tapos inilibre yung daughter ng presidente. Tanong, related party transaction on account na libre naman? The answer, or hindi siya related party transaction on account na libre? The answer is no, related party pa rin yun. May charge man o wala. Okay? So, ganun ibig sabihin, mabagsik ang ating PAS number 24. Okay. Ano-ano yung management compensation? So as you've seen, no, in the related party disclosure, no, of Jollibee Corporation, nakita nyo doon, ano, may short-term employee benefits, may post-employee benefit, employment benefits, other long-term benefits, termination benefits, share-based payment benefits like stock option expense. Di ba nakita nyo kanina, meron. O yan, kasali yan doon sa i-disclose as under management compensation. Nakuha niya, ganon, ano? So, key management personnel are those persons having authority and responsibility for planning, directing, and controlling the activities of the entity, directly or indirectly, including any directors, whether executive or otherwise, no, of the entity. So, what are related party transactions? If there have been transactions between related parties, disclose the nature of the related party relationship. O mag-ano, okay? As well as information about the transaction, no? Information about the transaction, no? And outstanding balances necessary for an understanding of the potential effect of the relationship on the financial statements. Okay, so examples ng mga related party transactions. Ayan, okay, we have examples. Ano-ano raw yung i-disclose? Yung amount ng transaction, the amount of outstanding balances, the provisions for doubtful debts related to the amount of outstanding balance. Baka hindi na binabayaran yung outstanding balance kasi just because key management personnel siya. Tapos hindi ka kunwari magkano yung provision mo for doubtful accounts or doubtful debts, inilalagay din yon, not only the outstanding balance. Now, expense recognized during the period in respect of bad or doubtful debts due from related parties. Related party nangutang sa company, no? Tapos hindi binabayaran. Bad debts na or bad or doubtful debts. I-disclose, dapat i-disclose. Okay. Example of kinds of transactions that are disclosed if they are with a related party: purchases or sale of goods, purchases or sale of property and other assets, rendering or receiving of services, even leases, transfers of research and development, transfers under license agreement, transfer under finance agreement arrangement, provision of guarantees or collateral. Kunwari, nangutang si asawa ng presidente sa isang bangko, personal loan, ang ginamit na collateral, yung asset ng company. Ano yon? I-disclose? Yes, i-disclose yun. Commitments to do something if a particular event occurs or does not occur in the future, including executory contracts, settlement of liabilities on behalf of the entity or by the entity on behalf of another entity. So ang dami, no? These are just examples, no? Okay, hindi natin sabihin naka-confine lang dito. There are many more, but these are the more common examples. Okay. A statement that related party transactions were made on terms equivalent to those that prevail in arm's length transaction should be made only if such terms can be substantiated. Okay? So, let's answer. Number 1, letter dog. Number 2, A. Number 3, C. Number 4, dog. Number 5, boy. Number 6, dog. Eto. Bakit ito? Answer natin, reimbursement. Reimbursement yan eh. Ibig sabihin ng reimbursement, no? Ibig sabihin refund lang yung ginastos, no? Pero in-reimburse din. Di ibig sabihin hindi for the benefit ng company ng nung binayaran eh. Kumbaga ni-reimburse yung kumpanya, no? Ginastosan ng kumpanya pero ni-reimburse din nitong si officer. Okay? So, yun yung sinasabi nating reimbursement of out-of-pocket expenses, no? Okay. Relationship between parents and subsidiaries shall be disclosed. Letter A. Number 8. Answer, dog. Number 9, dog. Number 10, boy. 11 is A. 12, dog. 13, dog. 14, C. 15, dog. 16, C. 17, C. 18, dog. 19, boy. 20 is C, 21 is C, 22 dog, 23 C, 24 boy, 25 C, 26 boy, 27 is A, 28 dog, 29 boy, 30 boy, 31 C, 32 boy, 33 C, 34 is A. Ngayon, ang tanong ko, bakit A yung 34? Kasi what total amount should be disclosed as management compensation, no? To compensation to key management personnel. Kasali ba ang annual salary? Yes. Kasali ba yung mga share option? Yes. Kasali ba yung contribution to retirement benefit plan for the benefit of those officers? Kasali. Pero yung reimbursement of travel expenses for business trip, hindi yan kasali, reimbursement nga eh. Okay? So, answer natin, 3.5 million lang. Ito, at saka ito. Kaya 3.5 million. No? Next, number 35. Ito. What total amount should be reported as related party disclosures in the notes to JOSIS? Ayan Josie. Ito raw si Josie Okay, 2023 consolidated financial statement. Kaya titingnan mo na lang yung mga transactions dito na hindi intercompany. Okay? Yun ang i-disclose. Kasi nakalagay consolidated eh. Kaya ang ibig sabihin, ang i-disclose mo, itong 750 at saka yung 500. Okay. Officers' expenses. Ito expenses yan eh. No? Ang ibig sabihin yan, no? Teka muna. Key officer salaries, no? Basahin natin lahat. Officers expenses, loan to officers, no? Intercompany sales. Ngayon, ang tanong, magkano? It should only be 3 million. Paano naging 3 million? Di add mo to, 750,000, 500,000, loans to officer, 1,250, and then 500. I-add mo lahat yan. So that means to say only 300,000, 3 million is to be disclosed as related party transactions. Okay? Consolidated FS eh. What about intercompany sales? Hindi yan. Kasi yan, this is what? Itong intercompany sales na yan, ano yan? Intercompany nga kaya ini-eliminate ito. Kaya intercompany sales are no longer disclosed when consolidated FS are prepared. Ito, bakit hindi natin isinali ito? Ito, yung mga reimbursable expenses yan, mga official expenses yan ng company. Okay, so ito ang i-disclose lang natin. Itong anong yan. Okay, sa consolidated. Number 36. Okay, so answer A. Okay, so that is our related party transactions disclosure. Okay? So let's move to the next one. We still have more time. Okay. So the next one, let me see. Wait lang. Tanggalin natin. Stop sharing. The next one, tapos na tayo ng related party. Punta tayo ng interim reporting at saka segment reporting. Okay, dalawang PAS ito ha. Okay, PAS 20. Bakit ko nilagay na PAS 24? Mali ang aking pagkakalagay ng PAS 24. Teka, sandali. Hindi ito PAS 34 dapat ito. Baguhin nyo, teka. Baguhin natin ha. Should be, mamaya na lang natin baguhin. Should be, hindi PAS 24 ito. 34 yan. Wait lang. Sa natin yung interim. Wait for a while ha. Sandali lang. Somebody's knocking at my gate ha. Wait lang. So wait ka lang ha. Somebody's knocking. Andiyan na ako. Wait lang, class ha. Sandali lang. Okay, so let's resume. Okay, operating segments. Ay, nako. Operating segments, ano? PAS number 20, PFRS number 8. So segment reporting is PFRS number 8, interim reporting is PAS number 24. Okay. Now, regarding segment reporting, alin ang uunahin natin? Unahin muna natin yung segment reporting, ha? Okay, so pakita natin ang ating, sandali lang, ha? So, unahin muna natin ang segment reporting. Kasi may ipapakita ko sa inyo na sample ng segment reporting. Kasi kung ang related party disclosures ay disclosures lang, ang segment reporting halos kapareho lang kasi it pertains to disclosures. Okay? Kasi pag sinabi nating segment reporting, this is all about, no, presenting those segments that are considered to be reportable segments. Okay? So, ang ibig sabihin niyan, disclosure na naman. 'Di ba? Kasi pag sinabi nating interim reporting, hindi na disclosure ang pinag-uusapan natin dito. No? Of course, when you say interim reporting, ano ba ang interim period? Interim period is a period of less than a year. Kasi 'di ba, sa FS, pwede ka naman mag-prepare ng FS ng monthly. Oh, can kumbaga can you be prohibited from presenting monthly FS? Kailangan nga ng mga ano yan ng mga yung mga insiders or yung tinatawag nating the management group na meron silang monthly financial statement, especially these days of information technology. Gumagamit ng mga accounting software, kaya nga every month pwedeng meron silang FS. O kaya naman, if not every month, pwedeng quarterly. Okay? Like for example, companies or corporations, no, they do submit quarterly FS to the Securities and Exchange Commission. O ano yon? That's an interim report. No? O kaya naman, let's say for schools, o every 6 months, kung semestral sila, pwedeng mag-report na every 6 months, meron silang FS. Okay, so ibig sabihin, if the covering period of the FS is less than a year, then it is said to be an interim report. Okay? Interim report. So, interim FS. Okay? Kasi basically, pag sinabi mong general purpose financial statement, basically, pang-annual yan, 12 months. 'Di ba? Covering one accounting period or a period of 12 months. O, di ibig sabihin, annual FS yon. Pero ito, pinag-uusapan natin dito sa PAS 34. 34 yan. Should be 34. Bakit ko ba nilagyan ng kung anong yan? Teka, sandali ah. It should be 34. Lagay ko 34. Baguhin nyo yan. 34 lahat yan. Baguhin nyo. Okay. So, interim reporting is PAS 34. Okay. Unahin muna natin ang segment reporting. No? Okay. So, let me show you again a sample segment reporting, or disclosure of reportable segment, this time of Ayala Lands. O, tingnan natin napaka-comprehensive ng Ayala Lands. Teka, wait lang Okay, so let me look for it. Hindi na si Jollibee. Although may segment report din siya. Palitan na lang natin siya. Okay, para maintindihan nyo kasi mas madaling maintindihan kapag may sample na kagad Okay, so here it is Mhm. Okay. Ano bang page nito? 115. Sandali. Hanapin ko lang. Ay, lumampas. Okay, ito. Okay. Ang dami nang nakabukas eh. Sandali. Okay, here it is. So, segment information. Ayan yung segment reporting, ha? So, this is note 30 of Ayala Lands, no? So, the industry segments where the group and its associates and joint ventures operate follows. Okay. Parang mali yata yung English nun. No? Joint ventures operate follows. Parang mali, ano. Okay. So, siguro ano lang nila. Grammatical error. Okay, property development. Ito raw yung mga napili nilang reportable segments. Sabi mo, pinipili lang? Oh yes. Ngayon, sa pagpili natin ng segments, kasi maraming business segments, no? Like for example, Ayalans, there have so many business segments. Ngayon, to be qualified or to qualify as reportable segment, no? Meron tayong tinatawag na 10% threshold. Okay. Kapag hindi umubra yung threshold, 10% threshold 1, then tingnan natin kung mag-qualify dun sa number 2 threshold, sa number 3 threshold. Kapag hindi nag-qualify dun sa tatlong yon, it's not a reportable segment. Okay? So only one, no, only one, no, threshold or yung tinatawag nating 10% test, no, will make a business segment reportable. Now, in this disclosure, nakita natin, ano, eto pinakilala ng Ayala Land yung kanilang mga napiling reportable segments. Hindi ito picked at random, ha? Ito ang mga nag-qualify using the 10% threshold. And we will find out later on, ano ba yung 10% test or 10% threshold para maging ang business segment becomes a reportable segment. Okay. Ano naman ang what's the big deal or what's the big deal about being or becoming a reportable segment? Ito lang naman, sila ay mga bida sa disclosure mo. Sa note number 30, makikita mo na ito ang kanilang mga napili. Ayan, kita mo? Di ba? Nakita, a special column is provided or allotted for each reportable segment. So, ilan itong reportable segment nila? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh! Hindi, 8 lang pala. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there are 8 reportable segments from among the many business segments of what? Or product line. Pero ang tawag natin business segment or SBU, Strategic Business Unit. So for Ayala Lands, ito ang mga reportable segments sila. Ito yung mga nag-qualify, no, by applying the 10% threshold. Kaya tingnan mo, meron silang consolidated. No? Kasi consolidated FS ito. Okay. Ano yung dinisclose? Kaya tingnan mo, business segments. The following tables regarding business segments present assets and liabilities as of December 31 and revenue and profit information for each of the 3 years in the period ended December 31 in millions. Ano-ano yung mga ni-report? About revenues of the segments, about the gross margin of the segment. It's all about the net income of the segment, other information like segment assets, no? Segment revenues, okay? And others, no? Okay, yung gusto nilang i-emphasize, no? Okay. So, ibig sabihin, kapag pala reportable segment, merong special disclosure about it. Okay? Paano yung mga hindi napili? Yung mga hindi napili, di walang disclosure dun sa mga hindi napiling segments. Okay? So from among the different business segments or the many business segments, there will be reportable segments. Okay? So ito ano, ayan ang kanilang kanilang disclosure about business. Yan ang tinatawag nating segment reporting. Question, bakit ginagawa ng mga kumpanya yan? Bakit kailangan pa na may mga reportable segments? When you say reportable segments, we can say that they are major segments of the company, of the reporting entity. Meaning to say, kung ikaw ay stockholder, you may only be interested to know more about the major business segments. Kasi 'di ba for the benefit of the investing public, kailangan alam mo kung ano-ano yung mga major segments of the company. Kaya yan, that's the reason why meron tayong special mention. Merong special or distinction. Okay, kumbaga sa graduation, hindi ka nga cum laude, hindi ka nga magna cum laude, hindi ka summa cum laude. At least meron kang special, may special mention ka or a distinction. Okay? Ganon ang nangyari sa mga reportable segments. Okay? So, ganyan pala ang business segments. Okay. So, yan ang essence ng segment reporting. Okay? May sarili siyang, mayroon siyang sariling column. Okay? So, let us know more about ano ba itong mga reportable segments na ito. Okay? And how they are being chosen. Okay? Hindi naman at random o hindi pagandahan. But, of course, there are criteria. At ang criteria na yon known to be the 10% test. Okay? So, tingnan natin ang 10% test na yan. Okay, so let me change my screen. Ay, hindi pala entire screen. Sorry. Window lang. Sana tayo? Events. Hindi yan. Hindi yan. Teka, wala pala. Hindi pa pala. Okay, ito. Ayan. Okay. So, for operating segments, of course, the guideline, is shown or is covered in PFRS number 8. Okay. An operating segment is a component of an entity. Kanina pa ako gumagamit ng term na business segment kasi pwede naman tawaging business segment yung operating segment. Pwede rin tawagin na strategic business unit. Okay? So, an operating segment is a component of an entity that engages in business activities from which it may earn revenue and incur expenses, including revenue and expenses relating to transactions with other components of the same entity. So whose operating results are reviewed regularly. Nako, ito laging sa multiple choice meron yan, no? Whose operating results are reviewed regularly by the entity's chief operating decision maker to make decisions about resources to be allocated to the segment and assess its performance, and for which discrete financial information is available. Okay. So, yun ang definition natin ng operating segment, no? Kaya importante yung segment na yun, ano? Importante siya, no? Reportable segment. Oh, among the operating segments, no, there may be those that are to be considered as reportable segments. Ngayon, tanong, anong basis? What are the criteria? Okay, PFRS number 8 requires an entity to report financial and descriptive information about its reportable segments. Reportable segments are operating segments or aggregations of operating segments that meet specified criteria. Eto na. Eto na yung mga criteria. Eto yung sinasabi nating 10% threshold or the 10% test. Okay, that the reportable segment is a segment whose reported revenue from both external customer. Sino ba yung mga external customer? Mga outside customer na unrelated to the reporting entity. Okay? Ano naman tong intersegment sales? Ito yung mga intercompany sales. Ito yung sales within. Di ba, ang isang kumpanya, maaaring marami silang external customers pero may mga internal customers din sila. Like for example, yung mga affiliates, di ba, may mga upstream, downstream sales and purchases. Okay. So, yun yung sinasabi natin na intersegment sales. Ito yung mga sales from within. Okay? Or transfers, no? Is, kunwari, let's say, yung mga branch transfer o shipment from one branch to another branch. So, intersegment sales yan. Okay? So, it means to say intersegment sales or transfers is 10% or more of the combined revenue, internal and external, of all operating segments. Kaya ibig sabihin, kung meron kang 5 segments, no, ito total mo lahat ng revenues, na reported revenue. Kunwari sabihin natin, reported yung segment 1, segment 2, segment 3, segment 4, segment 5, after summing up all the revenues, no, of all the segments, sabihin natin lumabas ay 20 million. Therefore, ito yung 20 million is the one that we refer to when we say combined revenue, both internal and external. Ngayon, kung ang business segment, let's say A, or business segment 1 has 10%, no, has a reported revenue of at least 10% of the 20 million. Yun ang ating example, 20 million, and that is 10% of 20 million is 2 million. Okay, so that's the threshold. Okay, kaya kung ang let's say segment number 1 has 3 million, pasado siya. Ibig sabihin reportable segment siya. Paano kung ang 1.9 million, hindi siya pasado kasi ang threshold mo is 2 million which is 10% of 20 million na combined revenue. Yun ang ibig sabihin ng reported revenue, 10% of the combined revenue, no? Okay. So, ano pa? The absolute measure of its reported profit or loss is 10% or more of the greater in the absolute amount of the combined reported profit of all operating segments. Sabihin natin, may 3 operating segments. Segment 1, segment 2, segment 3. Sa segment 1, may profit na 1 million. Sa segment 2, may loss na 3 million. Samantalang si segment 3, mayroong profit na sabihin natin 5 million. O di ibig sabihin, Anong sinabi ko? Teka, nakalimutan ko kung magkano yung amount. Teka, tingnan ko muna ah. Susulat ko nga. Nakalimutan ko na yung mga pinagsasabi ko. Sandali lang. Ay nako. Teka, segment 1, sabihin natin na 2 million ang kanyang profit. Si segment 2, may loss na 4 million. Sabihin na lang natin 4 million na loss. Si segment number 3 ay meron siyang segment profit na 5 million. Okay? Profit. Anong ibig kong sabihin? O, ulit ha. Segment 1, 2 million profit. Segment 2, 4 million loss. Segment 3, 5 million profit. Anong ibig sabihin ng number 2 bullet? Ang ibig sabihin niya, kukunin mo, i-add mo muna. Yung mga profit, i-add mo. Okay. So, ibig sabihin, ang total profit or combined profit, 2 million plus 5 million is 7 million. Pero meron ding loss. Yung loss mo ay 4 million. O ngayon, ang tanong, alin ang pipiliin mo sa dalawa? Yung combined profit na 7 million or yung loss na 4 million? Ang sabi dyan, whichever is greater daw. Eh di natural, mas greater yung profit na 7 million. Yun ang gagamitin mong basis of the 10%. Kaya kung ita-times mo ng 10% yan, then that means to say 700,000. Ngayon, yun ang 10% threshold mo. So that if your segment, okay, if your segment has a profit, teka muna, add pala, ano muna natin, 7 million. Okay, so that means to say 7 million. Okay, 10% non 700,000. Kaya ibig sabihin, kung ang profit mo is more than 700,000 or at least 700,000, you are to be chosen as a reportable segment. Kaya ang ginawa natin kinuha muna natin yung combined profit, kinuha muna natin combined loss, tapos pumili tayo ng whichever is greater. Kaya yung whichever is greater, yun na magiging basis ng 10%. Okay? Kaya titingnan mo ngayon yung iba't ibang segments kung more than sila ng 700 or at least 700,000 ang kanilang profit. Okay? So that means yun ang ating magiging basihan. Or, kunwari, hindi ka nag-qualify sa bullet 1, hindi ka rin nag-qualify dun sa bullet number 2, pero nag-qualify ka dito sa third bullet, which is 10% of the segment of the combined assets of all operating segment. Kunwari sabihin natin, ang combined asset nila ay 100 million lahat. I-times mo ng 10% yan, then that means to say 10 million. Kaya kung ang segment has a total asset or segment asset of at least 10 million, which is 10% of 100 million, the combined asset, then that is a reportable segment. Kaya isa lang dito ang pumasa ang segment, magiging reportable segment siya. Okay? Ngayon, ang tanong dyan ay ganito, no? Kung paano na sabi natin, meron pa ditong nakalagay 75% na threshold. Hindi pa pala tapos yung mga 10% na yan, no? Okay, so sabi natin, okay, meron na tayong tatlo, sabihin natin, 4 na napiling reportable segments yung out of the 10, no? 10 operating segments. O may 10 ka, nakapili ka ng 5. O sabihin natin 4. Ngayon, hindi pa husto yung paghahanap natin. The search is not yet over. 'Di ba? Ano 'yan? Kanta 'yan. Sabi mo, bakit? Kasi kapag itinotal ko yung lahat ng mga revenues, no, ng itong mga reportable segments na ito, hindi pa mag-equal sa 75% of the total of the entity's revenue, no? Okay, kasi kukunin mo yung 75%, yun ang magiging threshold, yung lahat ng revenues, ng combined revenues ng lahat-lahat, no? Kunin mo yung 75%. Di makukuha mo yung threshold. Kunwari sabihin natin 100 million. Okay? Tapos, i-multiply mo ng 75%. O di lalabas ay 7.5 million. Yung pag tinotal mo, yung mga revenues nitong mga reportable segments na to, hindi pa mag 7.5 million. Anong ibig sabihin? Hindi ka patapos na humanap ng reportable segment. Hahanap ka pa. Sabi mo eliminated na yung mga iba, hindi na nga yung individually, hindi na sila nag-qualify dito sa 10% threshold 1, 10% threshold 2, 10% threshold 3. Ang gagawin mo aggregation na. Meaning to say, although these are parang kumbaga sa beauty contest, mga kuhahanap ng wild card from the wild card, no, ng isa or dalawa. Ngayon, sabi mo individually, bagsak na sila or hindi na sila qualified. Anong gagawin mo? I-aggregate mo yung ilan sa kanila. No? Yun yung sinasabi nating aggregation. No? Baka sakaling pag inaggregate mo, like for example, yung hotel and restaurant, isang industriya lang yan. It belongs, or these two hotel and restaurants, no, they belong to one hospitality industry. Kung i-aggregate mo sila, syempre lalaki as a combined, no, as combined entities, pwede silang maging reportable segment. Do you follow? Kasi nga hindi pa na-attain yung 75% of the entity's revenue, kaya hahanap ka pa ng reportable segment. Since disqualified na sila individually, ang gawin mo, no, i-aggregate mo yung magkakatulad ng nature or characteristics. No? Pwede, kagaya nga sabi ko sa inyo, yung hotel, pwede mong i-combine yan sa restaurant because they belong to only one industry, which is hospitality industry. Baka sakali pag combine na sila, maging reportable segment sila. Yun ang ibig sabihin ng 75% threshold. Hindi ka titigil hanggat yung combined revenue ng lahat ng reportable segments has a total of at least 75% of the entity's revenue. No? Okay? So, ganon ang ibig sabihin. Puro mga disclosures lang naman. Ayan, no? Reportable segment. Okay, ito yung mga aggregation. Ito yung sinasabi ko sa inyo na kung individually bagsak sila, hindi sila reportable segment. Pag inaggregate mo sila based on similar economic characteristics, then pwede silang maging reportable segment. You can only do that kapag hindi pa nasatisfy yung 75% threshold. Okay? So that's the meaning of segment reporting. Okay, punta tayo ngayon. Naku, nag-exceed na tayo. Interim financial reporting. Ayan. So sa interim financial reporting, this is all about what? This is all about presentation of interim financial statements, or ang tawag natin financial reports or interim reports. Okay? So, may mga examples tayo dyan. Okay, let me now give you pakibasa ito mga basic principles, no? Okay, for interim reporting. Okay? Ito, importante yan. These are important facts. Okay? So, yan. Now, multiple choice. Number 1, C. Number 2, A. 3 boy. 4 dog. 5 dog. 6A. 7 boy. 8 boy. 9 boy. 10 is boy. 11 boy. 12C. Okay? So, paano naging C? O, sige, computin nyo ha. Bakit naging C? So, 13 million divided by 20 million is equal to 65%. Natural, 65% is lower than 75% kasi ito yung threshold of the total entity revenue. Kaya, you must identify one or more additional segments for segmental disclosure purposes. So, letter C yun. Okay? Number 13, letter dog. 14, C. 15, dog. 16, boy. 17, dog. 17, dog. 18, C. 19, dog. 20A. 21A. 22, boy. 23 is dog, 24A, 25 dog, 26A, 27 boy, 28 boy, 29A, 30 boy, 31 dog, 32 boy, 33A, 34 dog, 35 dog, 36 dog, and 37 boy. Bigay ko na rin yung answer para doon sa inventory. Oh. Basahin nyo sa bahay. Ha? Marami akong inilagay dyan. No? Okay, so teka ha, bigay ko sa inyo. Kunin nyo yung mga answers. No? Teka, wait lang ha. Sandali lang. Nahanap ko pa. Sorry, nag-extend tayo ha. Sandali lang. Para hindi kaya hanggang PPE ito eh. Teka, wait lang. Inventories. Okay. So please do jot down the answers no to the multiple choice questions for inventories. PAS number 2 yan, ha? Okay, importante, no? Number 1, dog. 2C. 3, dog. 4C. 5C. 6C. 7, boy. 8, sandali. 8, boy. 9A. 10A. 11, boy. 12, boy. 13C. 14, boy. 15, boy. 16 is dog. 17A. 18, dog. 19, dog. 20C. 21A. 22, dog. 23 is, wait lang ha. 23 is C. 24 boy. 25 boy. 26 is C. 27 dog. 28A. 29 dog. 30 dog. 31A. 32 is, teka sandali tumatalon eh. 32A. 33 is, teka bakit walang question itong 33? Okay, nagkamali ako ng numbering, ano? 33, tingnan mo yung 33 and 34. Isang ano lang yan, isang question lang dapat yan, no? Nagkamali lang ng number. So, ang answer dyan is letter C. Merchandise is returned and the perpetual inventory method is used. C. 35 is dog. 36 is dog. 37A. 38A. 39 dog. 40 boy. 41 is, teka wait lang ha. C. 42 dog. 43 boy. 44 dog. 45A. 46 dog. 47A. 48A. 49 dog. 50A. 51A. 52 is A. 53 is C. 54 dog. And 55 is C. Okay? So, those are the answers to PAS, inventories PAS number 2. Okay, so, I'll see you, I don't know, no? But, siguro, teka, wait lang. Okay, so, Monday next week is your first monthly quiz. Okay, so you review hanggang inventories. Review up